Chapter 890. 8 o'clock in the morning at Zhongchuan Airport. Qin Feng and the beauty duo met again. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku had changed their outfits, but their styles remained the same. Rao Sherman was fashionable and elegant, while Zhang Kuku was hip-hop and funny. Last night, Ma Xinxin pinched Qin Feng for the whole night. The flesh on his waist was swollen. Meeting the beauty duo again, Qin Feng had learned to be smart. He would bring Ma Xinxin into the conversation whenever they were chatting. Ma Xinxin was very satisfied with his behavior. Mr. Zheng Shuai, Sherman Kuku, I still have some matters to attend to, so I won't be accompanying you. I'll go to Hong Kong after I'm done with my work. President Du bade farewell to them after he sent them to the airport. The five of them chartered a chartered plane to Hong Kong. Zhongchuan City and Hong Kong were separated by the sea. It only took them about 20 minutes to reach Hong Kong by plane. More than 10 minutes were spent on takeoff and landing. Stepping on the ground of Hong Kong, Qin Feng felt a sense of familiarity. Not long ago, he and Yan Wushuang came to Hong Kong for a mission. Now he was back. Wow! We're in Hong Kong. Quick, let's take a taxi to go shopping. Big brother Zheng Shuai is the best. Zhang Kuku usually called Qin Feng ugly, but whenever she needed his help, she would call him Big Brother. Qin Feng was speechless. Kuku, stop yelling. We're here to shoot a movie. President Du said that the representative of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media will come to pick us up. Behave yourself. Rao Sherman was used to Zhang Kuku's noisy personality. She had a love-hate relationship with Zhang Kuku. We can shoot a movie anytime. How can we delay our business? Zhang Kuku inverted right and wrong. She treated work as her spare time, and fun as her business. Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin slapped their foreheads. How did this girl become so popular? Miss Sherman, Miss Kuku, and the production director of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media, Guotao. The company's CEO told me to come and pick you up when he learned that you're coming today. Please follow us back to the company's headquarters, said a man in a suit and leather shoes. Before they arrived, President Du had given them the information of the receptionist. Rao Sherman verified it and confirmed Guotao's identity. Hello, Director Gua. Sorry for troubling you. Rao Sherman greeted Guotao politely. Guotao's gaze lingered on Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku for a few seconds. A hint of possessiveness flashed in the depth of his eyes. Who is this beauty? Just as Guotao was about to bring his men into the car, his eyes lit up when he saw Ma Xinxin standing beside Qin Feng. There's another woman here, who's as beautiful as Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku? Director Gua, this is Miss Ma Xinxin, Zheng Shuai's manager. That is Mr. Zheng Shuai. Rao Sherman took the initiative to introduce Qin Feng. This was the first time Guotao looked Qin Feng in the eye. Previously, Guotao thought Qin Feng was a bodyguard brought by the pretty girl duo. Zheng Shuai. Who the hell was he? How come I didn't know? Guotao glanced at Qin Feng. The way he spoke was completely different from the way he spoke to the pretty girl duo. Qin Feng was ignored in public. Ma Xinxin and the pretty young lady duo were a bit unhappy. Director Gua, Zheng Shuai came with us to film the movie. He's the male lead of the movie Hedonist Sovereign. Rao Sherman had been defending Qin Feng, but she didn't even realize it. What the hell? What kind of international joke is this? This ugly freak is the male lead? Do we still want the box office? Do you think we're playing with the money we invested? Initially, Guotao wanted to act like a gentleman in front of the pretty girl duo. Maybe he would have the chance to push them down during the filming. However, after knowing Qin Feng's identity, Guotao instantly revealed his true colors. He became a complete hooligan and cursed the moment he opened his mouth. Director Gua, is there a need to make such a fuss? You're not as handsome as me. Why can't I be the male lead? Qin Feng couldn't bear listening to Guotao's words. If it wasn't for the fact that he was afraid of scaring the three beauties beside him, he would have slapped Guotao a long time ago. Guotao's face darkened with anger. I am not as handsome as you. Why, you can scold me, but you can't insult me like this. Why don't you ask Sherman and Kuku if I'm not as handsome as you? Indeed, Guotao wasn't handsome. However, after seeing Qin Feng, he became more confident. Zhang Kuku and Rao Sherman were dissatisfied with Guotao. What does Zheng Shuai's handsomeness have to do with you? Who in the world would make sarcastic remarks as soon as they met? Although Zhang Kuku was more sarcastic than Guo when she first met Qin Feng, she refused to admit it. Director Guo, Zheng Shuai is indeed more handsome than you. Yeah, Kuku thinks so too. Kuku never lies. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku stood on Qin Feng's side. Zheng Shuai was stunned for over 10 seconds before he regained his senses. Then he went crazy. I don't care who you are. Anyway, Hedonist Sovereign won't let you be the male lead. Go back to where you came from. Guo didn't give Qin Feng a friendly look. This was Hong Kong Guo's territory. The girls rolled their eyes in anger. Even Sister Ling couldn't stand Guo's behavior. However, Qin Feng's expression was calm as he said indifferently, "Your words are useless." It was Starlight Media's CEO, who begged me to act as the male lead in Hedonist Sovereign. Only the CEO of House of Millions Media can talk to me about this. You're not qualified. Hurry and take us back to the company, or I'll beat you up. Qin Feng had run out of patience. He raised his hand and stretched it toward Guo. Guo was a skinny monkey. He was scared when he saw Qin Feng's sturdy body. He yelled hastily, What are you doing? I'm warning you, don't hit me." Qin Feng stretched his hand toward Guo and retracted it. He combed his hair and said, "What the hell are you yelling for? I'm just messing with my hair. Look at how scared you are. You're even more cowardly than a girl." Guo was so angry that his nose became crooked. Zhang Kuku chimed in, "That's right. You're even more cowardly than Kuku. How embarrassing." "Why you guys?" Guo dressed up meticulously and arrived in high spirits. He wanted to leave a good impression on the pretty girl group. He didn't expect that he would be so embarrassed in less than 5 minutes. Guo was so angry that he couldn't even utter a complete sentence. Qin Feng didn't give him a chance to speak. You, what are you talking about? Are you mute? Are you mute to receive me and the pretty girl group? What kind of people are in your company?" If there was a ranking for bickering, then Qin Feng was at the top. He was invincible in the universe. With a few words, he turned Guo from a strong and arrogant guy to a guy who couldn't even speak. I'm not a fucking mute. Yes, you're not a mute. You're a stutterer." Qin Feng laughed. "Yes, I'm just a stutterer." Guo became an idiot after being tricked by Qin Feng. Laughter filled the surroundings. Even the 3 assistants behind Guo couldn't help but laugh a few times. "Damn you, you're the stutterer. I'm not a stutterer. And you guys, what are you laughing at? If you don't want to work here, get lost." Guo came back to his senses. He was so angry that smoke was coming out of his head. He turned around and scolded the 3 assistants, venting his anger on them. The 3 of them immediately stopped laughing. They put on a straight face as if nothing had happened. Guo took a few deep breaths and tried his best to calm himself down. Initially, Guo didn't want to bring Qin Feng back to the company, but now he changed his mind. He wanted to bring Qin Feng back and teach this arrogant guy a lesson. Follow me back to the company." Guo glared fiercely at Qin Feng, turned around, and walked towards the commercial cars. There were 2 commercial cars in total. Qin Feng's group of 5 got in one, and Guo's 3 assistants got in the other. Guo hesitated for a moment, then ran to the door of Qin Feng's car. He wanted to take a ride with the beautiful young lady and develop their relationship on the road. Guo's hand had just grabbed the door frame when Qin Feng suddenly slid the door shut. The door gap caught Guo's hand, and Guo cried out in pain. "Sir, hurry and go," Qin Feng said to the driver with a calm expression as he glanced at Guo hanging outside the door. The driver only looked at the left rearview mirror and didn't see Guo hanging on the right. He started the car and slowly moved. Stop the car. Hurry and fucking stop the car." Guo suddenly felt the car move. He was so scared that he forgot to scream in pain. He ran with the car while shouting at the driver. The car doors and windows were closed, and the driver didn't hear Guo's voice. He seemed to want to show off his driving skills. When he turned around, the driver even did a small drift. "Wow. Look, there's a dog hanging outside the door. This dog runs so fast." Zhang Kuku was the first to notice Guo. She clapped her hands and cheered excitedly. The others looked out of the car window and were shocked. "How is that a dog?" "Driver, stop the car." Rauscher Man was a sensible person. Even if she hated Guatao, she wouldn't leave him in the lurch. The driver thought his drift scared Rauscher Man, so he smiled proudly and said, "Don't worry, beauties. I've been driving for more than 10 years. What I did just now was within the scope of my driving skills. Nothing bad will happen." Rauscher Man held her forehead and said speechlessly, "Driver, your director Gua is hanging on the door." Creak. As soon as Rauscher Man finished speaking, the car came to a screeching halt. When the driver saw Guatao hanging on the right door, he was so scared that his heart almost jumped out of his chest. "Qin Feng, hurry and open the door." The car stopped. Rauscher Man looked at Qin Feng anxiously. Qin Feng opened the car door unhurriedly. "Huh? Isn't this Director Gua? Are you going to run back?" Qin Feng asked Guatao as if nothing had happened. Guatao's face darkened. He knew Qin Feng purposely closed the door and pinched his hand. However, Guatao couldn't say it in front of a car full of beauties. It was embarrassing. "Ahem. How can I run back? Is there something wrong with your brain? I saw that the pretty girl group is cooperating with our company for the first time. I want to get in your car and talk to the two beauties about our company's situation." Chapter 891. 10 billion liquidated damages. Guatao said as he jumped into the car. The women in the car all had cold faces. Obviously, they were not willing to sit in the same car as Guatao. Everyone please search for the most complete version. The fastest update. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curled up, and he quickly closed the car door. Bang. A muffled sound spread out, startling everyone. Guatao's screams could be heard, and the driver's jaw dropped to the ground. "Ow. Are you fucking sick? Quickly let go." The front half of Guatao's body was already clamped in the car, but the back half was outside the car. That miserable appearance made the women laugh. Do you want to get in? Why didn't you say so earlier?" Qin Feng acted as if he didn't know anything. Guatao was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He didn't believe that Qin Feng didn't know. This brat did it on purpose. "I already said that I wanted to get in the car. Hurry up and let go." "Ouch, my waist is going to break." Guatao was so angry that he bared his fangs and brandished his claws as he roared at Qin Feng. However, his body was in so much pain that his forehead was covered in a layer of cold sweat. Qin Feng let go of the car door. This action came without warning, and Guatao didn't even have time to react before he fell flat on his face outside the car. Why the hell did you let go? Did you do it on purpose?" Guatao laid on the ground and screamed. All the girls laughed so hard that tears rolled down their cheeks. Qin Feng glared unhappily at Guatao and yelled, "Are you crazy? One moment, you want to run back by yourself. The next moment, you want to get into the car. Just now you told me to let go, and now you won't let go. We don't want a lunatic like you in the car. That disease is contagious." After Qin Feng finished lecturing Guatao, he closed the door and yelled at the driver, "What are you waiting for? Drive." The driver glanced at Guatao through the rearview mirror. He really wanted to go down and check on Guatao, but when he saw the icy expression on Guatao's face, he was so scared that he immediately started the car and flew away. The MPV behind almost hit Guatao. The driver slammed on the brakes, and the three assistants hurriedly ran out. "Director Gua, are you alright? What's going on?" Guatao rolled on the ground a few times. His white suit was covered in a layer of dust. He was so embarrassed that he couldn't face anyone. "What do you mean what's going on?" "It's all because the beautiful girl group insisted on getting me in the car to talk about personal matters. I opened the car door and saw that there were too many people, so I didn't get in." "Stop talking nonsense, hurry back to the company." Guatao's ability to fabricate lies was superb. However, everyone's eyes flickered. Clearly they did not believe Guatao's words. The two commercial Mercedes-Benz stopped in front of the House of Millions Media, and Qin Feng and the other four alighted from the car. Hong Kong's House of Millions Media Company was the most influential entertainment media company in Hong Kong. Many Oscars and Golden Deer winners, as well as Best Actress and Best Actor winners, were signed by this company. The building in front of him towered into the clouds, and the exterior structure was a glass wall, full of modern and fashionable atmosphere. Qin Feng looked up at the building of House of Millions Media. He had to admit that Hong Kong's development was better than China's. Ugly country bumpkin. You've never seen such a tall building, right? Let me tell you. This is the headquarters of House of Millions Media. I work in the chief supervision office on the top floor every day. You can't be jealous. Although Guotao had only just met Qin Feng, he already deeply hated Qin Feng. As soon as he got out of the car, Guotao found an opportunity to make cutting remarks about Qin Feng. Your company has eunuchs? What are you doing there? Qin Feng asked. Guotao's smug expression immediately disappeared. He was dumbfounded by the question. Ma Xinxin and the other girls were amused. Even Zhang Kuku found Zheng Shuai amusing. Are you deaf? I said director's office. Guotao finally regained his senses. I know, the chief supervisor of the eunuch's office is the director. I'm asking you, what do you do with so many eunuchs in one place every day? Zhang Kuku squatted on the floor and laughed. This girl never cared about her image. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin covered their mouths and giggled. Sister Ling laughed until her neck turned red, and tears flowed down her cheeks. You're sick. You're really sick. You've never heard of the position of director. You're just a country bumpkin from the countryside. Guotao was so angry that his teeth chattered. He swore to himself that he would teach Qin Feng a lesson after he entered the company. Director Gua, let's go into the company and talk business. Rao Sherman forced herself to stop laughing and stepped forward to ease the atmosphere. Guotao was very proud of his position as the director of House of Millions Media. He especially enjoyed the feeling of his employees calling him director every day. However, after listening to Qin Feng's explanation to the director, Guotao felt disgusted when he heard the word director. Without another word, Guotao walked into the company with a cold expression. His 3 assistants did not dare to make a sound. They suppressed their laughter and followed behind him. Let's go in too, Rao Sherman said to everyone. Ma Xinxin and Zhang Kuku finally stopped laughing. The interior of House of Millions Media was bright and spacious. The decoration was magnificent. As Qin Feng and the others walked on the road, they saw a few familiar celebrities. Guotao was in a bad mood. He did not greet anyone along the way, and arrived at the top floor in a huff. Finally, he led Qin Feng and the others into the CEO's office. Chairman Gu, the pretty girls group is here. The door opened and the group walked in. A middle-aged man with long hair and a potbelly sat under the floor-to-ceiling window. When he smiled, his squinted eyes disappeared, and he exuded a wretched aura. Haha. Miss Sherman, Miss Kuku, I've heard a lot about you. It's great to have the opportunity to cooperate with you. Chairman Gu walked toward them and extended his fat hand to shake the 2 ladies' hands. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku's eyes flashed with displeasure. They had been in the entertainment industry for a long time, so they had a good eye for people. They could tell that Chairman Gu was not a decent person. Nice to meet you, Chairman Gu. It's my first time here. Nice to meet you. Before President Gu could approach the 2 ladies, Qin Feng had already grabbed his hand with a smile. President Gu's gaze was fixed on the 2 beauties, Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku. When he saw Qin Feng, he was so shocked that he almost fell to the ground. Fuck. Who are you? Where did you come from? Are you trying to scare me to death in broad daylight? Chairman Gu was so scared that his fat jiggled. However, Qin Feng acted as if nothing happened and continued. Chairman Gu, allow me to introduce myself to you. I'm Zheng Shuai. As my name suggests, I'm the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. I hope that Chairman Gu can take care of me in the future. Qin Feng said a lot of things, but Chairman Gu was dumbfounded. Was this really the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign? The people of Starlight Media must have shit in their heads. You ugly country bumpkin. Hurry up and let go of our Chairman Gu's hand. Who do you think Chairman Gu is? Do you think a piece of trash like you can talk to him? Guotao had been looking for an opportunity to teach Qin Feng a lesson. Now that the opportunity had come, he hastily stood up and reprimanded Qin Feng. Chairman Gu was still in a daze. Am I dreaming? Director Gua, what's going on? Chairman Gu glared at Guotao with a cold expression. Chairman Gu, this is an actor sent by Starlight Media. I don't think they plan on cooperating with us. They're doing this half-heartedly. An actor with looks like this? I can pick anyone off the street, and they're better than him. Chairman Gu, you can't let him act in Hedonist sovereign. Chairman Gu roughly understood the situation. He was so angry that his long hair, which he thought was artistic, stood on end. He glared at Qin Feng and yelled, "Scram back to where you came from. Your elder won't let you be the male lead." Qin Feng's treatment had completely changed after he arrived in Hong Kong. In Zhongchuan City, Chairman Du treated Qin Feng like a big boss. Whatever Qin Feng said was the law. House of Millions Media didn't take Qin Feng seriously, but they had the confidence to do so in the entertainment industry. Chairman Gu, this isn't up to you. Starlight Media signed a contract with your company and picked me out of 10,000 to be the male lead. If you break the contract, you'll have to compensate. Qin Feng said carelessly. Chairman Gu was rich and overbearing. He wasn't afraid of Qin Feng's threat. He sneered and said, "Humph, isn't it just compensation? Guotao, find the contract and smash the compensation on this ugly freak's face. Your elder will make him scram." Seeing Chairman Gu and Qin Feng at loggerheads, Guotao was indescribably happy. He quickly ran to find Qin Feng's contract. "Chairman Gu, I found the contract." Guotao ran back excitedly with the contract. "Turn to the contract compensation page and see how much it is. Take it out and smash this ugly freak to death. He wants to be the male lead. Go act in a horror film." Chairman Gu scolded incessantly. The beauties couldn't bear to watch it anymore. Guotao flipped through the contract with a gloating expression. When he flipped to the compensation page, he was so scared that he threw the contract on the ground. "Guotao, what the hell are you doing? You can't even do a contract properly. You good for nothing." Chairman Gu glared at Guotao, but Guotao didn't care at all. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He picked up the contract and stared at the compensation for a long time. Finally, he counted the number of zeros after the 1. "Chairman Gu, this compensation is 10 billion. Isn't it just 1 million? Look at you making a fuss over nothing. Go get the money now and smash it." "Fuck. What did you say? 10 billion? Do you even know how to count?" Chairman Gu was so shocked that he jumped up halfway. He snatched the contract from Guotao's hand and looked at it himself. Boss Gu carefully counted the zeros 3 times. Suddenly, a myriad of curses ran through his heart. It really was 10 billion. There's something wrong with this contract. In the past, the compensation for breach of contract was within 10 million. This brat is just a newcomer. A million is already sky high. How did he get 10 billion? Chairman Gu's mind went blank. The movie Hedonist Sovereign only cost around 10 billion. If he really breached the contract, he would suffer a huge loss. Guotao was dumbfounded. He didn't know why Zheng Shuai's compensation was so high. This wasn't the first day that Starlight Media and Hong Kong's Media of Millions worked together. In the past, the compensation for breach of contract was fixed, and every contract was the same. This time, Guotao didn't look at the compensation in detail and casually signed the contract. Now that he looked back, he was in big trouble. Chapter 892. Translator. Hengyi Translations Editor. Hengyi Translations. Not only were Chairman Gu and Guotao stunned, but Rao Sherman and the other 2 women were also stunned. This was the highest penalty they had ever heard of. With Qin Feng's intelligence, he had already figured out the reason behind this. However, Qin Feng didn't know whether he should be happy or angry. This was definitely Chairman Du's doing, and Chairman Du was also the one who increased the penalty fee to such a high amount. Chairman Du was a man with foresight. When he signed the contract, he already guessed that this would happen. He was extremely distrustful of Qin Feng's looks. "Chairman Gu, since you insist on breaking the contract, I won't argue with you anymore. Compensate me 10 billion, and I'll go back to the mainland to develop my career." Qin Feng suddenly changed his tactic, because every trick led to Rome. Product Bookweb. Chairman Gu was dumbfounded. This time, he didn't dare to break the contract with Qin Feng. "Ahem. Zheng Shuai, I think your qualities are pretty good. Whether it's your appearance, temperament, inner qualities, or cultivation, you fit the requirements of the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. I believe that with House of Millions Media's promotion, you'll become an instant hit." Chairman Gu had already changed his attitude. He spoke to Qin Feng calmly as if nothing had happened. Oh, does Chairman Gu really think so? Why do I remember that you've been looking down on me? Qin Feng teased. Of course not. Director Gua, have I ever looked down on Mr. Zheng Shuai? Chairman Gu glared at Guatao. Guatao immediately regained his senses. He was so angry that he was about to explode. However, he still forced a smile and said, Haha, Chairman Gu has never looked down on Mr. Zheng. Whether it's his talent or appearance, Mr. Zheng has reached the standard of an A-list actor. It's our company's honor to have him act in Hedonist Sovereign. Chairman Gu and Guatao echoed each other, as if they were performing a crosstalk. Ma Xinxin and the other women didn't have a good impression of these two. Now they looked down on them even more. This kind of hypocritical, fickle and bottomless stinky man was truly revolting. If that's the case, then I'll reluctantly agree to be the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. Qin Feng said arrogantly. Chairman Gu and Guatao had a smile on their faces, but their hearts were about to explode. You look like a ghost, and you still reluctantly agree to be the male lead? If I hadn't been screwed over by you guys on the contract, I wouldn't have even given you the role of a corpse. No matter how unhappy he was, he couldn't change the fact that he was screwed over. Chairman Gu decided not to think about it for now. He didn't want to pay attention to Qin Feng, so his gaze fell on the pretty girl duo. Hee. Beautiful ladies, my name is Gu Feng. Just call me Boss Gu from now on like everyone else. Boss Gu took the initiative to greet the two ladies, mainly to get close to them. Big bosses like Mr. Gu, who invested in the entertainment industry, invested with the intention of hitting on girls. However, which actress who had worked with House of Millions Media hadn't been slept with by Mr. Gu? As a result, there was a popular saying in Hong Kong's entertainment circle. If you want to take on a show from House of Millions Media, you have to go to President Gu's bed first. Manager Gu had played with more than half of the female celebrities in Hong Kong, and now, he is reaching out to China. This pretty girl group is to his liking. Ancient Wind? You're more like a punk. Zhang Kuka spoke straightforwardly and disregarded Manager Gu's status. She pointed at Manager Gu's long hair and commented. Everyone was stunned for a moment before they burst into laughter. Even Guatao's lips twitched, and his neck turned red from holding back his laughter. Don't mind her, Chairman Gu. Kuka never thinks before she speaks. She likes to joke with others, and it's always a kind joke. Rao Sherman disliked Manager Gu, but he was the boss of House of Millions Media. This was the first time Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku had changed their career to film. This movie was very important to their future career, so Rao Sherman stepped forward to smooth things over. Ahem. It's fine. Kuku is innocent and lively. I like her very much. Why don't I adopt her as my daughter? Mr. Gu suppressed his anger and said with a smile, No, you look old and frivolous. I don't want you to be my adoptive father. Zhang Kuku rejected him directly. Everyone thought that Mr. Gu looked old and frivolous, but Zhang Kuku was the only one who blurted it out. The corner of Mr. Gu's lips twitched. He was humiliated by Qin Feng, so he wanted to flirt with girls to ease his mood. But now, he was completely speechless. Director Gua, these celebrities just got off the plane. They must be tired. Please bring them to the hotel and take good care of them. Mr. Gu was mentally and physically exhausted. He wanted to be alone. Guatao led Qin Feng and the others out of the company. There was a 5-star high-class hotel next to the company. Guatao had already prepared the rooms and brought them to the hotel. Zhang Kuku, Rao Sherman, and Big Sis Ling stayed in a presidential suite. Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin each got a suite. Qin Feng wanted to get a suite with Ma Xinxin, but Ma Xinxin was shy in front of everyone. She didn't want to share a suite with Qin Feng. Otherwise, they would misunderstand her. Haha. Everyone, please go back to your rooms and rest. This is my name card. Call me if you need anything. I'm going back to the company to deal with some matters. Guatao rushed back to the company after arranging the rooms. As soon as he entered Mr. Gu's office, he heard the sound of something being smashed. Motherfucker. Those people from Starlight Media are too daring. How dare they play tricks on me? He found an ugly freak to brush me off. I called him to ask about him, but he didn't even respond to me. No wonder Boss Gu was so angry. He had just called Yang Can, and Yang Can had been chatting with him politely. However, when Boss Gu mentioned that he wanted to replace Zheng Shuai as the male lead, Yang Can's attitude changed immediately. In the end, both parties failed to come to an agreement. Yang Can hung up the phone and turned it off. Mr. Gu, please calm down first. Guo walked into the office cautiously. Calm down? Do you think I can calm down? If Starlight Media isn't in China, I'll find someone to smash his company. Mr. Gu smashed a glass ashtray into pieces. Guo jumped in fright and dodged the glass shards. He hastily advised, Mr. Gu, he's just an ugly country bumpkin. If Starlight Media dares to play dirty, we can do the same. Moreover, this is Hong Kong, and it's our turf. Guo hurried back to talk to Mr. Gu about the plan. Not only did Mr. Gu hate Qin Feng, but Guo hated Qin Feng more than Mr. Gu. After Mr. Gu smashed and roared in anger, he calmed down a little. What do you have? Tell me. Guo trembled in fright. He didn't dare to keep Mr. Gu in suspense. He hastily said, Mr. Gu, we can't fire Zheng Shuai due to the restrictions of the contract. However, we can think of a way to make Zheng Shuai violate the terms of the contract. This way we can righteously terminate the contract. Mr. Gu's eyes sparkled. This was a good idea. Seeing Director Guo's interest, Guo continued. If you want Zheng Shuai to take the initiative to violate the treaty, or if you want him to take the initiative to terminate the contract, then there are many ways. What I'm thinking now is to call Lu Hai over tonight, and have him help me scare Zheng Shuai out of Hong Kong, so that he won't dare to come back in the future. Guo was obviously thinking of a plan along the way. He simply blurted out the plan. Finding Lu Hai will definitely scare Zheng Shuai away. However, as one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong, that guy is naturally a playboy. If he appears, he will definitely look at the beauty of the beautiful girl group. Mr. Gu felt that Guo's plan was generally good, but there were still some details that he was hesitant about. Mr. Gu, it's precisely because Lu Hai is lustful that we should get him to come forward. According to my information, Rao Sherman has a pretty big background in the mainland, so it's not good for Mr. Gu to directly touch her. If Lu Hai goes to test the waters first, then it'll be easy for Mr. Gu to play with that woman. If Lu Hai fails, then Mr. Gu doesn't need to have any more ideas about her. Guo had followed Mr. Gu for so many years, so he naturally knew what Mr. Gu's interests and hobbies were. Mr. Gu carefully analyzed Guo's words, and felt that it made more and more sense. This was simply a perfect plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Not bad, not bad. You have a lot of ideas. Let's do as you say. Go and make the arrangements now. Guo had already left the company to contact Lu Hai. Leah, who was in Zhongchuan City, had been extremely busy recently. In the interrogation room of the Public Security Bureau, Leah stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights, interrogating the group of hoodlums that she had captured almost 24 hours a day. Leah had panda eyes, her face was pale, and her eyelids were starting to fight. She was about to collapse, but the group of hoodlums were tight-lipped, and no one had confessed until now. The door to the interrogation room was suddenly opened by someone. Leah did not even have the time to turn around to look, when she was suddenly pressed down on the table by 2 policewomen. Who is it? What are you doing? Leah's tiredness immediately disappeared, and she began to struggle and resist. Zhongchuan City Public Security Bureau Chief Leah, we now suspect that you have abused your power, and used your power to avenge your personal grudges. Please cooperate with our investigation. A group of people walked into the interrogation room. Looking at their posture, one could tell that they were not small. Leah turned her head with difficulty to look at them. They were the people from the special investigation team set up by China. Why did you capture me? I did not abuse my power, and I definitely did not do anything against the law. Leah often saw on the news that some big tiger had been captured, but she never thought that one day, she would also be captured and investigated. Leah thought about what Qin Feng had said before. The mastermind behind this case was very powerful. Leah immediately understood that these people were probably called over by the mastermind. Comrade Leah, please do not resist. We only came to investigate you after receiving a report. Before the results of the matter are out, You will be detained at the local police station. The person did not listen to Li Ye's explanation at all. The man standing at the front waved his hand, and the two policewomen escorted Li Ye to the prison. Li Ye had already calmed down. She did not struggle anymore, and did not even bother explaining. Li Ye carefully took out her phone with her hands behind her back, and sent a message to Qin Feng. Chapter 893. Am I in heaven? After Li Ye was brought into the prison, the two female police officers searched Li Ye's entire body, removed Li Ye's gun, and took away her phone and walkie-talkie. Li Ye was locked in a room alone. She had been a police officer for so many years and caught countless criminals, but she never thought that one day, she would also be locked in here. Li Ye's mood suddenly became extremely disappointed, but at the moment, she was even more worried. She was caught too suddenly, and no one knew about it. Li Ye's phone was also taken away, so she didn't even have the chance to ask for help. All of her hopes were pinned on Qin Feng, because on the way here, Li Ye blindly sent a message to Qin Feng. Li Ye didn't know if the message she sent was correct or not. It all depended on Qin Feng's comprehension. The moment Li Ye was captured, Li Xiaojie, who was at the base of Acehang Bar, received the news. Those people from the supervisory committee were sent by the Green Sect, and Li Xiaojie was the one who asked the Green Sect to help him do this. Alright, Li Ye has already been captured. You guys can go and do it now. Li Xiaojie played with his phone, not taking Li Ye seriously at all. When Brother Li and One-Eyed Dragon heard the news, they were so excited that they wanted to shout out loud. Brother Li hurriedly replied, Good good. Elder Li, don't worry. We'll go settle that bitch right now. This way, it'll be easier to catch people in the future. Also, release your underlings who are locked up. The mission I've arranged for you is the most important one. If you can't complete it, I'll teach you a lesson. Li Xiaojie's voice was cold. Brother Li agreed, and pulled the one-eyed man out of the bar. The two of them had suffered quite a bit at Li Ye's hands. This time, when Li Ye was captured, the two of them wished that they could stand in front of that woman in the next second, strip her naked and play with her to death. DD. Qin Feng returned to the suite, and had just laid down on the sofa when his phone beeped. Opening his phone, it was a message from Li Ye. I'll toast to you. Cheers to me. The message was very short. It was worthy of being called a short message. However, the content of the message made Qin Feng very puzzled. Even with Qin Feng's intelligence, he couldn't understand it in a short time. What is Xiaoyu doing? Did you send it to the wrong person? Qin Feng threw his phone to the side. He knew that Li Ye had been busy interrogating criminals recently, so he did not want to disturb Li Ye. Most importantly, Qin Feng was currently in Hong Kong, so it wasn't convenient for him to pick up Li Ye. The message rang for a while, and then there was no follow-up. Qin Feng was getting more and more bored watching TV, so he picked up the message and looked at Li Ye's message again. In an instant, Qin Feng jumped up from the sofa. He finally understood the hidden meaning in the message. Xiaoyu was in heat. The last sentence of the message, "You always fuck me," was enough to explain everything. As for the first half of the sentence, "I'll toast you," it was definitely because Li Ye was impatient and typed the wrong words. Qin Feng was half happy and half worried. Li Ye was the woman who had won Hong Kong's Most Beautiful Miss 3 times in a row. Her figure and appearance were without a doubt. How could Qin Feng reject such a beauty when she had a request for Qin Feng? But why did it have to be tonight? What if Zhang Kuku and Rao Sherman also asked him out for a date? What should he do then? Qin Feng thought to himself. Qin Feng had encountered the most difficult choice in his life. After thinking for a while, he decided to call Li Ye and ask if he could push back the artillery. Could it be pushed back a few days? Just as he made the call, the phone was turned off. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows and had a bad premonition. After hanging up, he hurriedly dialed a few more times, but the phone was turned off. Qin Feng's excitement had long since dissipated. He remembered that on the last day he saw Li Ye, he told Li Ye to turn on her phone 24 hours a day and call him immediately if anything happened. Now that Li Ye sent a strange message and then turned off her phone, Qin Feng felt that something had happened to Li Ye. Hee. Mr. Zheng Shuai, I just finished my work. and was about to call you to ask about your situation with Man and Cuckoo. I didn't expect you to. Qin Feng called Director Du, and before Director Du could finish flattering him, he interrupted him and said, Xiao Du, immediately find me news about Li Ye from the Public Security Bureau, and tell her to call me back. Qin Feng's voice was unquestionable, and carried a trace of coldness. Ever since Director Du met Qin Feng, it was the first time he had heard Qin Feng speak in such a serious voice. Mr. Zheng Shuai, is it Li Ye from Zhongchuan City's Public Security Bureau? Yes, she is the chief of the Public Security Bureau. Hurry up and find her. If you have any news, immediately reply to me. Qin Feng was not in Zhongchuan City, so he was extremely anxious. Director Du hung up the phone, and did not dare to delay in the slightest. He immediately mobilized all his connections to investigate Li Ye's whereabouts. As the chief of the Public Security Bureau, Li Ye's status was very high, so it was easy to find out. Less than 5 minutes after hanging up, Director Du returned. How is it? Qin Feng did not waste any time and asked directly. Mr. Zheng Shuai, I just found a friend from the Public Security Bureau. He said that Chief Li Ye was imprisoned by the people from the Supervisory Committee not long ago. Director Du's voice was trembling. He could tell that Qin Feng cared a lot about Li Ye. And now that Li Ye had been captured by the people from the Supervisory Committee, Director Du did not have the ability to get her out. Qin Feng's face was cold. He did not need to think too much to guess that someone was dealing with Li Ye. As the chief of the Public Security Bureau, Li Ye was investigated, so the other party's power was obviously very strong. Qin Feng did not place his hopes on Director Du. All right, I'll take care of this myself. Qin Feng hung up and immediately called again. Qin Feng? It's already so late, where are you? An emotionless but very pleasant voice came from the other end of the phone. Qin Feng could hear the hidden concern in the voice. Group Leader Yan, I need your help. The call was to Yan Wushuang. Qin Feng had not seen Yan Wushuang for a while. Once he heard her familiar voice, Qin Feng began to miss this woman. However, Li Ye's situation was urgent, so Qin Feng did not have time to reminisce with Yan Wushuang. Yan Wushuang's voice became serious, and she said in a capable manner, What is it? Tell me quickly. My friend in Zhongchuan City has been captured. Send the Dragon Sect member closest to Zhongchuan City to the Public Security Bureau to help him, Qin Feng said quickly. Countless questions flashed through Yan Wushuang's mind. Where was Qin Feng now? Why hadn't he come to see her for a long time? When did he have a friend in Zhongchuan City? Was it a man or a woman? However, Yan Wushuang did not ask any of these questions. She was a very perceptive woman, and she could hear that Qin Feng was very anxious. All right, what's your friend's name? Yan Wushuang's voice was still serious and emotionless. Zheng Shuai. All right, I'll send someone to help him now. After the call ended, Yan Wushuang had already started to contact the Dragon Sect members. Qin Feng stood under the floor-to-ceiling window and looked across the sea at Zhongchuan City. Even if he had the Dragon Sect to help, Qin Feng was still worried. Little pig, I want to go to Zhongchuan City as soon as possible. Qin Feng communicated with Little Pig telepathically. Master, you can summon the flaming golden eagle. It can take you to the sky in minutes. Little Pig was a product of the system. He was a character that spoke in a proper manner, just like an NPC in a game. However, after following Qin Feng for half a year, Little Pig had become a silly pig, and could speak internet slang whenever he opened his mouth. With a thought from Qin Feng, a crisp sound rang out. Qin Feng ran, and jumped out of the window on the 39th floor. In the next second, the wind whistled past his ears, and Qin Feng really flew into the sky. Look at the sky. In a room on the same floor, a couple was having wild sex in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. The woman lying on the window suddenly screamed. The man was startled. He looked outside the window. Aside from the hazy moonlight and rolling dark clouds, there was nothing. What are you looking at? Can't you be more serious when you do it? Are you implying that I'm not fierce enough? I'm going to kill you. The man was enraged, and he sprinted wildly. The woman felt wronged. Her man was fierce enough. She really saw a big bird that looked like a fire phoenix flash by, but now she couldn't see anything. Qin Feng couldn't remember how many times he had flown into the sky. He remembered when he was in Acropolis City. He flew into the sky with different women every night. No, Qin Feng was really flying in the sky now. However, this wasn't the first time he had flown into the sky. When they were at Devil Beast Mountain, the flaming golden eagle had brought Qin Feng to soar in the sky twice. This time, Qin Feng flew directly in the night sky of Hong Kong. He felt an indescribable sense of freedom. The flaming golden eagle was a spiritual beast. It realized that its master had urgent matters to attend to. In order to hide its body, the flaming golden eagle flew very high. Its speed was even faster, and it hoped to buy more time for its master. Fortunately, the night was hazy, and the sky was covered with dark clouds. It was as if there was a heavy rain, and the flaming golden eagle happened to be hidden in the clouds. Otherwise, if such a big golden bird flew over Hong Kong's sky, it would definitely cause social unrest. Hong Kong and Zhongchuan City faced each other across the sea. Qin Feng sat on the flaming golden eagle and felt like he was in a trance. He had already entered the territory of Zhongchuan City. Little pig, tell the flaming golden eagle to find a place with no one around to land. Screech. The flaming golden eagle let out a long screech and swooped down from the sky. Qin Feng was depressed. Didn't he say to find a place with no one around to land? This golden eagle was too high profile. Ah, what was that sound just now? On the streets of Zhongchuan City, many people suddenly stopped. They heard a strange cry that sounded like the cry of an ancient mythical beast. Where did that sound come from? Can you not make such a fuss in the middle of the night? It's very scary. Mom, there was a big bird flying in the sky, but there's no trace of it. Silly son. How can you recite a poem? There shouldn't be any traces of birds in the sky, but I've already flown over. Mom, there really was a big monster flying over in the sky. It was even flashing with golden light. You've watched too much Ultraman. Don't watch it again tonight. Chapter 894. The prison became damp and cold at night. Now that it was winter, Leah sat on the wooden bed in the prison wearing a thin police uniform, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. Grades Booknet. Burn. 1. R. A. N. E. N. The hazy moonlight shone on Leah's face, making her look a little lonely and helpless. Leah felt that she was in big trouble this time, and all she could think of was Qin Feng. Crunch. The prison door suddenly opened, and the dim light from the corridor shone in. Leah's heart almost jumped out of her throat, and she immediately jumped out of bed and ran towards the door. Qin Feng, did you come to save me? Leah's voice trembled. Haha. Chiefly, don't let your imagination run wild. Your man can't even protect himself now. Why would he come to save you? At the critical moment, Big Brother is still the one who stands up for you. Big Brother is here to save you. The voice that came over was very vulgar. It was not the familiar voice that Leah had imagined thousands of times. Leah's face immediately darkened, and she immediately retreated to the side of the bed. Li Hui, it's you. Leah recognized the person, but she became even more nervous. Not long ago, Li Hui and One-Eyed Dragon were mysteriously taken away by someone, and now it seemed that the people from the supervisory committee were also brought here by Li Hui. It was just that Leah did not understand. Li Hui was just a small captain in the police station. Where did he get such great ability from? Who was the person behind him? Haha. Chiefly, I'm here too. The one-eyed man's laughter was eerie and scary. He was now blind and couldn't see anything. Brother Li had to pull him along the way. Leah watched as Li Hui and One-Eyed Dragon approached her step by step, and instinctively reached out to touch her waist, but it was empty. Leah's only life-saving gun had already been taken away by someone. You don't come over. No, otherwise I won't be polite. Leah's voice trembled. Brother Li and One-Eyed Dragon were not afraid of Leah. How could the two of them not be able to beat a woman like Leah? How would he have the face to mingle in Zhongchuan City in the future? Chiefly, aren't you very capable? Ordering me around all day long. Aren't you just a little more powerful than me? What the hell are you capable of? I suspect that you slept with some leader before you were promoted. I also like you very much. Tonight, you must serve me well. Back then, when Li Hui was still in the police station, he always had ideas about Li Ya. Now that he finally had the chance to push Li Ya down, Li Hui was so happy that he could not close his mouth. Brother Lone Dragon couldn't see anything and shouted anxiously, "Brotherly, brotherly, don't forget about me, your brother. Pull me along, let's work together." "Don't worry, how could I forget you? I'll go take off that bitch's clothes first, don't worry." How could the one-eyed dragon not be anxious? He had seen Li Ya's beauty before. It was truly beautiful, and her figure was even more sexy and fiery. "Brotherly, brotherly, describe the girl's skin and body parts to me while you take them off. I have a reaction." The one-eyed man was so anxious that he jumped up and down. "Haha. All right, listen quietly. I'll take off that bitch's top first, and tell you about her treasures." Li Hui's interest was piqued, and he impatiently pounced towards Li Ya. Li Ya screamed. In a moment of desperation, she suddenly raised her leg, and a gust of wind spread out from the soles of her feet, directly kicking Li Hui away. Bang! Li Hui flew from the side of the bed all the way to the cell door, and fell heavily to the ground. Even his bones were about to fall apart. One-eyed dragon couldn't see anything, he could only hear the huge commotion. He was so excited that he cried out strangely again. "Brotherly, brotherly, you're not kind. You've already started. Why didn't you bring me along? Quickly describe that girl's breasts, how big are they?" One-eyed dragon still didn't understand the situation, and excitedly touched the room like an idiot. Li Ya looked at Li Hui, who had landed at the door, with an expression of disbelief. She was shocked by her current strength. Li Ya suddenly came to her senses. She had been cleansed by Qin Feng, and was now a martial artist of the first level. "You two bastards, this is called courting death." Li Ya, who had regained her senses, was no longer afraid of the two of them. One-eyed dragon's hand touched randomly, and just as he was about to touch Li Ya's thigh, Li Ya raised her leg, and before one-eyed dragon could understand the situation, his head smashed into the hard cement wall, and he immediately fainted. "Damn woman, you've been hiding your strength all this time? You bitch, you can fight, can't you? Let's see if you can beat a bullet." It was unknown when, but Li Hui had already crawled up. In his hand was a pitch-black pistol, and the muzzle was pointed straight at Li Ya's head. Li Ya was stunned. Although her strength had increased greatly, she did not have the confidence to dodge a bullet. That was a bullet, and the two of them were less than 10 meters away from each other. Li Ya felt that it was impossible. Seeing that Li Ya did not dare to move, Li Hui immediately laughed complacently. As he laughed, he grabbed his gun and walked closer to Li Ya. "You don't dare to move? I thought you were very capable. Do you want to go to the heavens after practicing martial arts? Why don't you use your hands to catch a bullet for me to see? I don't believe you." After a series of curses, Li Hui had already walked in front of Li Ya, and was less than a meter away from her. Under the moonlight, Li Hui could clearly see Li Ya's beauty and figure. His pair of wretched eyes flashed with an evil smile. "What do you want? I advise you to stop here." Li Ya suppressed the fear in her heart and maintained a cold expression. What do you think I want? Take off your clothes or I'll shoot you." Li Hui did not dare to throw down his gun to take off Li Ya's clothes. He was afraid that he would be kicked away by Li Ya again. Li Ya was threatened by the gun. Her heart was like an ant on a hot pan. She was extremely anxious. "Are you deaf? I told you to take it off. Do you think I don't dare to shoot? I'll count to 3. If you still don't take it off, I'll shoot you first and then rape your corpse." Li Hui loaded the gun, and the hand holding onto the gun trembled slightly. Li Ya clenched her teeth in anger. She wanted to pounce on Li Hui and perish together with him. The cell was small to begin with, and the atmosphere was completely frozen. With the gun pointed at her, Li Ya was in a difficult position. She was a little afraid of death, but who was not afraid of death? However, Li Ya was even more unwilling to take off her clothes. She did not want to let such a disgusting man like Li Hui touch her. Li Hui's cold voice had already spread out. 1, 2. The third call was about to ring out. Li Hui and Li Ya were both very nervous. Li Ya's underwear and vest were all drenched in cold sweat. "Surnamed Li, your enemy is me. What kind of ability is it to point a gun at a woman?" Before Li Hui could even speak for the third time, a cold voice suddenly came from behind him. Hearing this voice, Li Hui was so scared that his legs started to tremble again. But Leah was pleasantly surprised and 2 streams of tears fell. Bang 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 bang. Bang 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 bang. Li Hui immediately turned around, and without even looking, he randomly shot at the air. It was as if all the bullets in the pistol had been shot out by Li Hui in an instant. And in the end, there was a kacha-kacha sound of an empty gun. But Li Hui still could not stop. Leah was scared silly, her entire body was powerless, and she fell to the ground, as if her soul had been sucked out. Leah knew that Qin Feng's skills were very powerful. But under that barrage of bullets, could Qin Feng survive? Leah suddenly regretted sending a text message to Qin Feng for help. Li Hui was still standing on the spot with his body bent. The trembling of his legs increased by a lot, and his squinted eyes nervously looked outside. Now that he had no bullets, Li Hui felt like he had become an ant. Whoosh! The sound of the wind rang out in the silent prison cell. This sound was too familiar, scaring Li Hui so much that he cried out involuntarily. Just as he cried out, he fell to his knees with a plop. Not because he was scared, but because the tendons in his legs had been cut by the wind blades, and he could not stand at all. Xiaoya, are you all right? A familiar voice, a familiar figure. Qin Feng had already walked into the cell, and stopped in front of Li Hui. He opened his palm, and a pile of bullets fell from between Qin Feng's fingers to the ground. You want to see a handheld bullet, right? I'll show it to you. Li Hui sat in a pool of blood, scared silly. He had seen Qin Feng's power before, but only now did he know that it was only the tip of the iceberg. Li Hui even thought back to when he led the team to One-Eyed Dragon's house to capture Qin Feng. Even if his subordinates all fired, they probably wouldn't be able to kill Qin Feng. Woo-woo. Qin Feng, are you all right? You scared me to death. Leah threw herself into Qin Feng's embrace and cried. As she cried, she touched Qin Feng's body to check on his injuries. After looking at it once, Leah realized that Qin Feng was completely unharmed. Leah was once again shocked by Qin Feng's valiant skills. As expected of the Azure Dragon of China's 9 dragons. Xiaoya, why aren't you touching anymore? Qin Feng suddenly asked. Leah was startled. Ah? I checked your body, you're not injured. Are you in pain somewhere? Hurry up and tell me, don't scare me. Leah became nervous again. Her heart that had just relaxed was once again in her throat. Qin Feng looked at his navel and spoke nonsense with a serious face. There's something wrong there. Touch it and see if it's there. Leah did not think too much about it. She reached out and touched it, and suddenly cried out in alarm. Ah! You scoundrel, at this time, you're still making such a joke. Leah's beautiful face was flushed red. Qin Feng was fine, and it was spectacular. Qin Feng did not want to take advantage of Leah. He knew that Leah must have been frightened, and wanted to use this method to ease Leah's emotions. After Leah touched it, her mood did indeed improve, and her mind was no longer worried about being caught. Her mind was filled with one question. Qin Feng was so spectacular, could he really go in? Brotherly, why did you kick Lousy just now? You brat, you're not kind, you're a typical example of forgetting your friends in front of you. One-Eyed Dragon was woken up by the violent commotion just now. After he woke up, he could not see the current situation. So he cursed at Li Hui. Li Hui was extremely depressed. He did not even have the mood to pay attention to One-Eyed Dragon. With his hands behind his back, he secretly took out his phone and secretly sent a message. Chapter 895. Of course, Qin Feng saw Brother Li's small movements, but Qin Feng did not expose him. He was waiting for Brother Li to call the people behind him. One-Eyed Dragon was still yelling. Who told him to be blind and not see? Surnamed Li, you bastard, why don't you fucking say something? Don't tell me you took that woman to get a room? Are you going to leave me here alone? Li Hui, you bastard, don't let me see you again, or else I'll kill you myself. Li Hui, I want to fuck your mother. Li Hui had already sent the message. He could not bear to listen any longer, so he shouted at One-Eyed Dragon. You idiot, shut up. The prison was silent. One-Eyed Dragon thought that Li Hui had left him behind and ran away. Suddenly hearing Li Hui's voice, One-Eyed Dragon's expression immediately changed. He laughed and said, Hee hee, Brotherly, so you're still here. Are you done? Why can't I hear that bitch's voice? If you can't take it anymore, let your brother do it, I'll kill. You trash, I'll kill you first. Leah did not wait for One-Eyed Dragon to finish and kicked him. One-Eyed Dragon still did not understand what was going on. He fainted again. Seeing One-Eyed Dragon being kicked unconscious again, Brotherly was speechless. Qin Feng, what do we do now? Leah had already regained her composure. She looked at Qin Feng and waited for him to make a decision. Speak, who's behind you? Qin Feng kicked Li Hui's body, and Li Hui rolled all the way to the corner of the wall. Sitting up again with difficulty, Li Hui grimaced in pain. Big brother, I don't have anyone backing me. Qin Feng did not waste any words. With a wave of his hand, a white light flashed. In the next second, Li Hui saw one of his hands suddenly fall to the ground. That strange scene frightened Li Hui so much that he couldn't even scream in pain. I'll give you one last chance. Who's behind you? Qin Feng's voice floated over as if it came from hell. Li Hui's broken arm had already started to spurt out blood. The piercing pain caused him to scream again and again, but Li Hui did not dare to be careless. As he screamed, he gritted his teeth and said, I am working for the Verdant sect. Hearing the Verdant sect, Leah was shocked. That was one of the 3 sects in Huaxia, so Leah naturally knew how powerful the Verdant sect was. Qin Feng, on the other hand, wore a calm expression because he had already guessed that the Verdant sect had come to Middle River City. Where are the people of the Verdant sect? What's the leader's name? After one of his hands was chopped off by Qin Feng, Li Hui no longer had the will to resist. He said whatever he knew. There at Acehang Bar. They're here for the Verdant sect's great elder. Call. Just as Li Hui was about to say Li Xiaojie's name, the sound of hurried footsteps came from outside. Li Hui seemed to have realized that his reinforcements had arrived. He quickly shut his mouth and didn't say a word about the Verdant sect anymore. What's happening here? I have already captured Leah. Are you two trash still unable to handle her? All of a sudden, 8 people rushed into the cell. 3 men wearing the uniform of the supervisory committee stood at the front, followed by 5 guards. The guards all held guns in their hands. Once they entered the cell, they spread out and surrounded the entire cell. 5 pistols were already aimed at Qin Feng and Leah's heads. Looking at the professional quality and agility of these 5 people, it was obvious that they were all experts who had undergone special training. Minister Wang, that woman's wild man is here. That guy is very powerful. Li Hui could not stand up. When he saw the reinforcements, he immediately crawled over. Li Hui had lost an arm, and his entire body was dripping with blood. The 3 members of the supervisory committee glared at him in disdain, and the middle-aged man standing at the front kicked Li Hui away. You trash, scram to the side. Don't dirty my clothes. Li Hui rolled twice before he stabilized his body and said with grievance, Minister Wang, I really tried my best. It's that man who's too powerful. He's simply a demon from hell. Just now, he even used his fingers to catch bullets. Li Hui was so aggrieved that he was about to cry. He realized that ever since he met Qin Feng, his life had been worse than a dog's. Just as he finished speaking, Minister Wang angrily rushed forward and fiercely stomped on him. You idiot, I told you to shut up, yet you're still chirping at me. Can't you think before finding an excuse? Pinching bullets with your fingers? Why don't you say you swallowed bullets? Minister Wang was so angry that he was about to die. Did he think that Li Hui was coaxing him like a 3-year-old child? Li Hui was already sullen, and now his tears kept flowing. He wasn't lying. Qin Feng really did use his fingers to catch bullets. Trash rice bucket. Minister Wang didn't know how many times he had kicked Li Hui. He didn't stop until Li Hui fainted. He turned around and ordered the 5 guards, capture this man and woman. When the 5 of them received the order, 3 of them immediately pounced towards Qin Feng, while the other 2 stood motionless, the guns in their hands aimed at Qin Feng and Leah's heads. What right do you have to arrest me? You colluded with the underground forces and conspired with the Verdant sect. I'm going to sue you. Leah's belly full of anger exploded. After all, she was a stage 1 inner chi martial artist. She lifted her leg and kicked one of the guards. Halfway through, she was pulled aside by Qin Feng. Sit on the bed and don't move. You're no match for them. Qin Feng's voice rang in Li Ye's ears. However, Li Ye realized that Qin Feng was already standing in the middle of the crowd. He swung his fist, and the cell seemed to resound with the roar of a tiger and a dragon. Rumble! Qin Feng punched out with both of his fists, and collided with the two guards' fists. Two powerful auras enveloped Qin Feng's fists. Both were the auras of a stage 6 inner chi expert. Although the auras were powerful, they were met with an even more ferocious aura. It was the inner chi emitted from Qin Feng's body. In a blink of an eye, the two guards were sent flying, and the walls of the cell shook. Bang! When Qin Feng's fists landed, the bodyguard behind Qin Feng froze for a moment. Evidently, he was intimidated by Qin Feng's valiant skills. Qin Feng turned around and kicked the third bodyguard, causing him to fall to the ground. It was as if the battle had ended before it even began. The atmosphere in the cell sank to the bottom. The gloomy and cold air froze over. Minister Wang and the other two widened their eyes in disbelief. They were well aware of the strength of the 5 guards. They were all stage 6 inner chi masters, 1 in a million. In the secular world of China, a stage 6 inner chi expert was considered very powerful. They could easily dominate a 3rd or 4th tier city. However, the 5 of them met Qin Feng today. Ever since Qin Feng's cultivation was crippled by the divine dragon, he had used the poisonous gas in Ma Xinxin's body to break through to stage 8 inner chi. In Qin Feng's eyes, defeating a stage 6 inner chi expert was as easy as stepping on an ant. Are you trying to rebel? Do you know who we are? After a brief silence, Minister Wang regained his senses. Who are you? Qin Feng looked at Minister Wang with a playful expression. We are the representatives of China's Supervisory Committee. We are entrusted by the government to carry out disciplinary inspections in all regions of China. We suspect that you are colluding with Li Ye and abusing your power. You better surrender now. Otherwise, you will be going against the Chinese government. Minister Wang's accusation was serious. Most people would be scared to death by his words. But Qin Feng didn't care. He sneered and said, colluding with Li Ye and abusing your power. These crimes are on point. Since the 3 of you know your crimes, kneel down and apologize to Chief Li Ye. Minister Wang and the other 2 guards were stunned. When they regained their senses, they glared at Qin Feng. The 3 of them were members of the investigation team, sent by the capital city. Their statuses were high and mighty. Even the secretary of Zhongchuan City's municipal committee had to bow and scrape to them. Now an ugly man had suddenly appeared. He was simply audacious and did not put the 3 of them in his eyes at all. Ignorant brat, I don't want to waste my breath on you. Since you 2 refused to cooperate, you can be shot on the spot according to the crime of resisting arrest. Minister Wang looked at the remaining 2 guards and shouted coldly, open fire. The 2 of them didn't hesitate. Their mission was to completely obey their leader's orders. The gunshots had already sounded. Li Ye was so scared that her heart started to beat faster. Minister Wang and the other 2 guards revealed a complacent smile. It was as if they could already see Qin Feng being shot to death. Qin Feng didn't move. He just stood there and let the bullets hit him. He was afraid that if he changed his position, the 2 guards would accidentally injure Li Ye. Bang, 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 bang. The gunshots rang out for a while, and the cell fell into silence again. The guards had already used up all their bullets. Their expressions changed drastically as they stared at Qin Feng, who was standing like a mountain in the middle of the cell. This brat actually didn't fall? What's going on? Why isn't he dead? Not only did the guards notice the abnormality, Minister Wang also let out a strange cry. The other 2 representatives of the Supervisory Committee were also stunned. Their eyeballs were about to pop out, and they looked like they had seen a ghost. Qin Feng, are you okay? Li Ye's voice was trembling. She wanted to throw herself into Qin Feng's arms, but she didn't dare to go against what Qin Feng said. Qin Feng told Li Ye to sit on the bed and not move. Qin Feng didn't say anything. He used his actions to answer Li Ye. Qin Feng had already walked in front of Minister Wang. Minister Wang was so scared that his legs were trembling, and he almost kneeled on the ground. Just now, that guy surnamed Li said that I know how to catch bullets with my fingers. You didn't believe me? Do you believe me now? Qin Feng smiled and spread out his hands. There were bullets between the fingers of both of his hands. The bullets fell to the ground and made a crisp sound. The sound was like muffled thunder, striking the hearts of the few of them. Minister Wang and the other two were scared silly. They realized that they had offended a monster. The two guards who had fired their shots felt like they were in a dream. You, what do you want to do? We are all high officials of China. If you dare to harm us, little be careful. Minister Wang was so scared that his entire body was trembling. When he spoke, his tongue was tied. When he came, he was aggressive. In less than 10 minutes, he had completely become a deflated ball. Chapter 896. Slap. Minister Wang tried to use his authority to pressure Qin Feng. But before he could finish, Qin Feng slapped him. Qin Feng was so strong that he almost slapped Minister Wang's head off. Half of Minister Wang's face was swollen like a pig's head, but he did not scream. It was not that he was trying to suppress the pain, but Minister Wang was stunned by Qin Feng's slap. He had never been slapped by anyone ever since he took office. You dare to hit me? I'll kill you. Minister Wang let out a strange cry and pounced at Qin Feng with bared fangs and brandished claws, looking as if he wanted to perish together with Qin Feng. Qin Feng raised his leg and kicked Minister Wang into a corner. The remaining two supervisors were unhappy with Qin Feng, but they did not dare to say anything. They lowered their heads and did not dare to look Qin Feng in the eye. 3 of the 5 guards were lying on the ground, unable to get up. The other 2 stared blankly at the scene in front of them. The atmosphere once again fell into a dead silence. However, the silence did not last long before it was broken by the sound of footsteps outside. Another large group of people rushed into the cell. There were more than 20 people this time. Because the cell was limited, only 7 people came in, and the rest were guarding the corridor outside. Is Zheng Shuai here? The leader of the 7 people was a tall and strong man. He was 2 meters tall, and his body was as strong as a mountain. Just looking at him was enough to make people shiver. The man was wearing armor, made of unknown materials, and a red cloak. He looked like a god of death on the battlefield. As soon as he entered the cell, he called Zheng Shuai's name. Before Qin Feng could answer, Leah rushed up to him excitedly. Senior Ji Yi? Is that really you? The strong man was the Blue Dragon of China, Ji Yi. He had been guarding Hong Kong recently, when he received Yan Wushuang's call, and learned that Qin Feng was looking for help. He immediately led his team to Zhongchuan City. You are Hong Kong's Senior Inspector Leah? Ji Yi recognized Leah, and a bright smile flashed across his dignified face. Last time, Ji Yi, Qin Feng, Yan Wushuang, and Leah completed the money laundering mission together in Hong Kong, and everyone left behind a deep friendship. Senior Ji Yi, it's really you. Why are you here? When Leah saw Ji Yi, he was extremely happy. Without waiting for Ji Yi to reply, Leah already had an answer in his heart. This Senior Ji Yi was obviously called over by Qin Feng. Thinking about how Qin Feng actually called over the Chinese Blue Dragon to help him when he was in trouble, Leah's heart was filled with warmth. Comrade Leah, why are you here too? I heard that Qin Feng's friend was in trouble, so I came to help. Alright, do you know Zheng Shuai? Ji Yi quickly brought the topic back to business. Qin Feng walked over. Senior Ji Yi, I am Zheng Shuai. Little brother, are you alright? Who bullied you here? Big brother will avenge you. Qin Feng's friends were Ji Yi's friends. As soon as Ji Yi saw Zheng Shuai, he treated him as one of his own. Leah secretly glanced at Qin Feng a few times. She did not know why Qin Feng was hiding his true identity. However, since Qin Feng did this, he naturally had his reasons, and Leah did not reveal it to Ji Yi. Ji Yi chatted with Qin Feng for a while, and the two of them quickly became familiar with each other. Qin Feng brought Ji Yi and walked in front of Minister Wang and the other 2. The 3 of them were already covered in cold sweat. As high-ranking officials, how could they not know Blue Dragon Ji Yi? Even if they had never seen him in person, his resounding name was like thunder in their ears. Minister Wang and the other 2 were completely dumbfounded. Even if they were beaten to death, they would never have thought that this time, they would actually kick a nail board and attract the big shots of the dragon sect. Ji Yi stood in front of the three of them like a mighty mountain. His expression turned cold, and he turned into an impartial judge. My brother has already explained the situation to me. The three of you, as members of the supervisory committee, are unable to set an example and knowingly break the law. You are simply the scum of our public officials. Ji Yi mercilessly reprimanded the three of them. Minister Wang and the other two did not even dare to let out a fart. They had a look of despair on their faces, and knew that even if the gods descended to the mortal world, they would not be able to save them. Bring them back. Ji Yi waved his hand, and the members of the dragon sect surrounded them. A group of people escorted Minister Wang, the other two, and the 5 guards out of the cell. Ji Yi handed the matter over to his subordinates. He was not in a hurry to leave, so he chatted with Qin Feng and Li Ye for a while. Senior Ji Yi, are you near Zhongchuan City? Why are you here so quickly? Qin Feng asked. Because I completed a mission in Hong Kong. The organization sent me to guard Hong Kong. That's why I came here so quickly. Although Ji Yi treated Zheng Shuai as one of his own, the money laundering mission in Hong Kong was a special secret of the dragon sect, so Ji Yi did not reveal too much to Zheng Shuai. However, Qin Feng understood that although they had defeated the Wei family during the money laundering mission, Feng Qingyu and Xiuya of Japan had escaped. The dragon sect was probably worried that the Yamaguchi Gumi would send people to cause trouble again, so they had Ji Yi stand guard in Hong Kong. Li Ye knew Qin Feng and Zheng Shuai's identity. Seeing Qin Feng talking in riddles with Ji Yi, she was also impressed by Qin Feng. Comrade Li Ye, brother Zheng Shuai, then I'll take my leave first. Don't worry, I will deal with those people strictly. After chatting for a while, Ji Yi took his leave. Li Ye was acquitted and quickly restored to her position. However, Li Ye did not stay idle. Earlier on, Qin Feng asked Li Hui about the verdant sex base. Li Ye immediately mobilized all the police force and went straight to Love Bar. This night in Zhongchuan City was destined to not be peaceful. The entire pedestrian street was cordoned off, and the police began to disperse the crowd. The originally bustling pedestrian street became abnormally quiet tonight. Qin Feng was worried that Li Ye would lead the team alone, so he stayed by Li Ye's side. This filled Li Ye's heart with a sense of security. The main entrance, back entrance, and 2 side entrances of Acehang Bar were completely surrounded. Police cars and heavily armed police officers were parked all around the bar. Qin Feng and Li Ye took the lead and walked in from the main entrance, followed by more than 50 armed commandos. The mopping up work went very smoothly. In such a large-scale operation, as long as one was not brain damaged, they would obediently surrender. The harvest of the night's operation was not small. A total of 138 main members of the Lone Dragon Gang were arrested, plus 108 members were currently locked up in the police prison. With this, the Lone Dragon Gang, which had dominated the underground forces for a long time in Zhongchuan City, completely collapsed tonight. The manhunt had already begun. The police officers brought all the members of the Lone Dragon Gang into the police car. Li Ye and Qin Feng stood in the lobby of the bar, watching everything proceed in an orderly manner. Although they had arrested so many people and destroyed the Lone Dragon Gang, the two of them did not look very happy. Qin Feng, did Li Hui lie to us? We didn't even catch a single member of the verdant sect. Li Ye raised her eyebrows and looked at Qin Feng. I don't think he's lying. He must have leaked the news when we arrived, and the people of the verdant sect escaped before us. Qin Feng quickly analyzed the reason. He did not believe that Li Hui would dare to lie after losing an arm. The best explanation was that the verdant sect had already retreated. That's such a pity. If we could capture all the verdant sect members in one fell swoop, that would be great. Li Ye was a little disappointed. Qin Feng patted Li Ye's shoulder and said with a smile, "Be content. Perhaps this is the best ending for tonight. You haven't seen the verdant sect members before, so you don't know how powerful they are. If we really managed to trap the verdant sect members inside tonight, it would definitely be a tough battle. At that time, there will be countless casualties. Let's see how you explain this to the higher-ups." Hearing Qin Feng's words, Li Ye began to rejoice again. She suddenly looked at Qin Feng and said shyly, "What's there to be afraid of? Anyway, With you protecting me, I won't be injured. If there are really heavy casualties, you can just let the dragon sect help me. Qin Feng rolled his eyes and complained, Little Ya, you and I have nothing to do with each other. Do you really think of me as your boyfriend? Then you have to let me use my authority as your boyfriend. Why don't we go back to your house now? Qin Feng looked at Li Ya with a smile. Li Ya's face turned red. No way. I'm so busy tonight. Where would I have the time? When this case is over, I'll ask you out. After these few incidents, Li Ya's resistance towards Qin Feng was getting weaker and weaker. Even though she knew that Qin Feng was lecherous and had a group of beauties by his side, Li Ya was still willing to be with Qin Feng. After capturing all the hoodlums into the car, Qin Feng bid farewell to Li Ya. Qin Feng still had to rush back to Hong Kong. He was actually an actor. Li Ya followed a long line of police cars back to the police station. Qin Feng watched as Li Ya disappeared, and then disappeared into the night as well. There was still a police cordon around the bar. 20 police officers stayed at the scene and continued to guard the place. After an unknown period of time, a black shadow appeared in the bar house. Under the night sky, the black shadow's face was covered in a black robe, merging with the night sky. No one noticed his existence, but he stayed on the roof for a long time, and when Qin Feng and Li Ya rushed over, he stayed on top. The black shadow was Li Xiaojia. His face was as pale as paper, and his eyes were bloodshot. He was so angry that his hair stood on end. This branch base that had just been established was destroyed by Li Ya in a single night. Li Xiaojia had the chance to kill Li Ya and Zheng Shuai just now, but he endured it. Li Xiaojia was not afraid of Li Ya and Zheng Shuai, nor was he afraid of the hundreds of fully armed police officers. However, Li Xiaojia was afraid of Blue Dragon Ji Yi. Even if he was beaten to death, he would never have thought that Ji Yi would suddenly come to Zhongchuan City and even help Li Ya. Although the verdant sect was powerful, and even had disciples who held high positions in the Chinese government, in front of a top expert like Ji Yi, those high-ranking officials of the verdant sect were no match for Ji Yi. Ji Yi did not only represent himself, he represented the Chinese dragon sect, and the Chinese dragon sect was the most mysterious and reliable team under the Chinese government. The verdant sect had already given Li Xiaojia an order to avoid the limelight for a period of time, and not to deal with Li Ya and Zheng Shuai anymore. Li Xiaojia was extremely sullen at this moment. He realized that he had been living very gloomily recently. After being dissected by Qin Feng 3 times in a row, in the end, he was replaced with a pig's heart and dog's kidney. Unexpectedly, his strength increased greatly, and he thought that he could turn the tables and become the king. But in the end, he was beaten up by Qin Feng in the pill competition. He did not expect that because of the death of the Ghost Face Mountain Man, he would receive the attention of the verdant sect. Li Xiaojia felt that his spring had finally arrived, but before he could even see the green leaves, the newly established base in Zhongchuan City was destroyed. Chapter 897. When Qin Feng returned to Hong Kong, he didn't ride the flaming golden eagle because it was too much for him. Qin Feng had no choice but to come because he was pressed for time. Now that everything was settled, Qin Feng didn't want the people of Zhongchuan City and Hong Kong to discover the flaming golden eagle and make the headlines the next day. Hong Kong International Hotel. Ma Xinxin and the pretty girls had just received a call from Guotao, saying that Mr. Gu had invited them to a hotel for a meal. Because they were in a different place this time, they couldn't refuse Mr. Gu's invitation. If they really made their relationship too awkward, there would be a lot of trouble during filming. The beautiful young ladies changed into their evening kipeos and went out. Ma Xinxin also dressed up meticulously and prepared to go find Qin Feng. Since the appearance of the pretty girls group, Ma Xinxin often dressed herself up in front of the mirror. When she arrived at Qin Feng's door, Ma Xinxin pressed the doorbell for a while, but Qin Feng didn't come out. Ma Xinxin angrily took out her phone and called Qin Feng. Sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service. When Qin Feng went to Zhongchuan City, he turned off his phone. He was afraid that Ma Xinxin and the others would suddenly look for him. It would be hard for Qin Feng to explain. Stinky Qin Feng. Damn Qin Feng. You didn't even open the door or turn on your phone. I'm so angry. Ma Xinqin thought Qin Feng was sleeping in the room and purposely didn't want to come out. She was so angry that she kicked the door. She felt like she was going to break the door, but she still didn't see Qin Feng come out. Suddenly Ma Xinqin thought of a possibility. Could this bastard Qin Feng have abandoned her and gone to the banquet hall to pick up girls? Ma Xinqin felt that this was very likely, so she quickly turned around and ran to the banquet hall on the 3rd floor. The banquet hall was decorated with gold and jade. Director Gu and Guotao had already arrived, and the two of them were standing in the middle of the banquet hall, talking to another man. The man was dressed in a well-ironed white suit, and his words and actions exuded the aura of a rich family's son. He was one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong, Lu Hai. Haha. Young Master Lu, you've been very busy recently. I don't see you often. Director Gu called out to Lu Hai. Guotao did not even have the right to speak in front of Lu Hai, and could only stand at the side and laugh foolishly. Boss Gu, aren't you a busy man as well? It's so hard to meet you. Gu Feng also had quite a bit of fame and status in Hong Kong. Lu Hai and he could be considered wine and meat friends, and every time they gathered together, the two of them would flatter each other. After a round of pleasantries, Lu Hai brought the topic to business and said with a wretched smile, "Hee hee. Boss Gu, you suddenly called me over. Is it because you have new goods? Young Master Lu knows me well. I haven't even said anything and you already know." President Gu smiled sinisterly. "Hee hee. Boss Gu and I are like-minded. Otherwise we wouldn't have become good brothers, right? Alright, what girl is it this time? How old was she? A young model or a singer? Could it be a popular movie star? Foreign or domestic? I haven't tried the transvestites in Thailand." When it came to picking up girls, Lu Hai seemed to have found the direction of his life, and his eyes shone with light. "Young Master Lu, don't be anxious. It's the best this time. You should be mentally prepared. Don't get too excited and faint later." Manager Gu deliberately kept him in suspense. Lu Haiho was extremely anxious. He quickly asked, "Who is it? Tell me." "It's Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku, a popular Chinese singer duo." "Holy shit. Are you for real? The beautiful girl group is here? Where are they? Where are they?" Upon hearing that the beautiful girl group was here, Lu Hai couldn't wait to drag the 2 beautiful girls to get a room. When President Gu and Guotao saw Lu Hai's impatient look, both of them felt proud. From the looks of it, tonight's plan should be completed smoothly. "Young Master Lu, I already told you not to get excited. The beautiful girl group is indeed here. They are going to have dinner with us tonight. However, there will be a male celebrity. That guy also likes the beautiful girl group. Young Master Lu, what do you think?" Without waiting for President Gu to finish, Lu Hai patted his chest and shouted, "Holy shit! What's the name of that male celebrity? Where is he from? What's his background? You want to fight with me, Lu Hai, for a woman? You don't want to fucking stay in Hong Kong anymore, do you?" Seeing Lu Hai's arrogant attitude, President Gu and Guotao were so happy that they couldn't close their mouths. "Young Master Lu, that guy is called Zheng Shuai. He's a singer who has become popular recently. This time, he and the beautiful girl group accepted a show from our company. That guy doesn't have any background. He's an ugly country bumpkin from the countryside. It's precisely because he's from the countryside that he hasn't seen the big world and doesn't know the rules. He's arrogant all day long and doesn't even put me in his eyes." President Gu said all kinds of bad things about Qin Feng. Qin Feng wasn't here anyway. When Lu Hai heard that Zheng Shuai was a country bumpkin from the countryside, how could he put Zheng Shuai in his eyes? His expression and tone became even more arrogant. "TSK, a country bumpkin came to Hong Kong to film? If he's obedient tonight, I won't lower myself to his level. If he doesn't know what's good for him, I'll teach him a lesson." With Lu Hai's words, President Gu and Guotao felt much better. The 3 of them chatted for a while, and the beautiful girl group walked in. President Gu, Director Gua. When Rao Sherman entered the room, she took the initiative to greet them because she knew Zhang Kuku's personality. Why is there a fatty? Who is this fatty? Indeed, Zhang Kuku didn't greet President Gu and Director Gua. The moment she entered the room, she asked about Lu Hai's situation. Lu Hai usually ate too well and was a little fatty. However, he didn't like people calling him fat. When Zhang Kuku opened her mouth, everyone was speechless. Ahem. Let me introduce you to one another. This is young Master Lu, one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. Young Master Lu. These two are the popular singers in the mainland. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku from the beautiful girl group. President Gu mediated in the middle. He didn't want Lu Hai to be angered by Zhang Kuku and run away before Zheng Shuai arrived. Lu Hai didn't care about Zhang Kuku's words. Ever since he saw the 2 girls, Lu Hai's eyes couldn't move away. Rao Sherman wore a white cheongsam tonight. She looked holy and noble. Zhang Kuku wore a pink cheongsam. She was cute and lively. The 2 of them had completely different styles, but they were both rare super beauties. Lu Hai had played with many Hong Kong stars, but none of them could compare to the beautiful girl group. Only Leah could compete with the beautiful girl group, but Lu Hai didn't pick up Leah. He couldn't wait to hide when he saw Leah. Haha. It's fine. So the 2 of you are the famous beautiful girl group. I've seen you on TV before, but now that I see you in person, you're even more beautiful than on TV. As one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong, Lu Hai naturally had his own way of picking up girls. He started to praise the 2 girls. Sherman Kuku, have you seen Zheng Shuai? Just as Lu Hai finished his greeting, Ma Xinxin rushed in. She thought Qin Feng secretly came to pick up girls, but she didn't expect him to be here. Xinxin, isn't Zheng Shuai with you? We didn't see him. Rao Sherman replied to Ma Xinxin. Ma Xinxin was puzzled. She took out her phone and was about to call Qin Feng again, when a person suddenly jumped out beside her. Io, who is this beauty? It's my honor to be able to have dinner with so many beauties tonight. Ma Xinxin jumped in fright and almost kicked Lu Hai away. Hey, stay away from me, do I know you? Other than treating Qin Feng patiently and gently, Ma Xinxin had no interest in other men. When Director Gu heard that Zheng Shuai had disappeared, he was a little anxious. If Zheng Shuai didn't come, wouldn't the Hongmen banquet tonight be a waste? Young Master Lu, this is Zheng Shuai's manager Ma Xinxin. Miss Xian, this is Lu Hai, one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. He's a hardcore fan of the beautiful girl group. Director Gu introduced them to each other, but Ma Xinxin still did not give Lu Hai a good look. Ma Xinxin was also a woman from a wealthy family. She knew best what kind of person the men from a wealthy family were. Just look at Qin Feng, and you will know. Zheng Shuai is gone. I'm going to look for him. You guys eat first. Since Qin Feng wasn't here, Ma Xinxin didn't want to stay any longer. She turned around and went out to look for him. Lu Hai watched as Ma Xinxin left, and his heart felt like it was being scratched by a cat. How could such a beautiful girl leave just like that? Hee. Young Master Lu, Miss Xian went to call Zheng Shuai. Why don't we go to the table first? When they arrive, we can start eating. Director Gu gave Lu Hai a look. Lu Hai hurriedly went to greet the beautiful girl group. Come. 2 beautiful girls, please take a seat first. Tonight, I've specially set up a grand banquet to welcome you. 2 beautiful girls, please take the main seat. You are the main characters tonight. Since Rao Sherman was here, it wouldn't be good to find an excuse to leave midway. She pulled Zhang Kuku and Sister Ling to their seats. As soon as the 3 girls sat down, Lu Hai sat next to Zhang Kuku. In comparison, Lu Hai liked Zhang Kuku more, because this woman had big breasts and no brains. Kuku, you don't know, but I usually like you a lot. I'm happier to see you today than during the New Year. As soon as he sat down, Lu Hai started to pick up girls. However, he chose the wrong target. Why would he pick up Zhang Kuku? Wasn't this courting death? Even Qin Feng didn't have the courage to do so. Are you my fan? Zhang Kuku didn't care whether the banquet started or not. As soon as she sat down, she grabbed the beef salad with her hands and ate happily. Seeing that Zhang Kuku was not as cold as Rao Sherman, Lu Hai was very pleased with himself. He said with a smile, in all honesty, I grew up listening to your songs. Baba. I learned a lot from listening to your songs. Lu Hai's lies were so good that even Director Gu and Guo Tao admired him in their hearts. Zhang Kuku continued to eat her favorite food and said casually, "Oh? Then what's your favorite song?" Chapter 898. Lu Hai quickly signaled CEO Gu with his eyes. CEO Gu was a smart man. He smiled and said, "Young Master Lu, I personally like the song because of you the most. I wonder if young Master Lu is the same as me? Io. Otherwise, why would I say that we are good brothers? CEO Gu, you have good taste. I also like because of you the most." Lu Hai heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. This cover was finally over. Zhang Kuku remained calm and continued, "Oh, so you like because of you. Then why don't you sing a few lines for me?" Just as Lu Hai was feeling proud of his intelligence, the smile on his face froze. Then, he signaled CEO Gu with his eyes again. This time, CEO Gu was dumbfounded. It was already rare for him to remember the name of the song, "Because of You." "You want me to sing this song? What kind of joke is this?" "Hee. I think it's better if I don't sing. I'm tone deaf and my voice is terrible. Singing is killing me." Lu Hai found another excuse to cover up his lie. CEO Gu and Guatao wiped the cold sweat off their foreheads. Why did they feel that this meal was so thrilling even before it started? "Those who sing badly are all ugly," Zhang Kuku said casually. "Beauty Kuku, you can't say that. It's not absolute. Then your singing is bad. You're ugly too. That's for sure." Zhang Kuku glared at Lu Hai with an unforgiving attitude. Lu Hai was a little unhappy, but he could not show it. "I'm not ugly, right? Actually, there are many people who say that I'm handsome." "There are people who say that you're handsome? Are they all blind? You're ugly and your singing isn't good. Don't sit next to me. I despise you." Zhang Kuku had a carefree personality. When she was unhappy with someone, she would definitely say it out loud. Otherwise, Zhang Kuku would feel uncomfortable holding it in. He would rather others suffer than himself. Lu Hai's mouth twitched. He suddenly realized that he was flirting with the wrong person. The atmosphere became a little awkward. Fortunately, Ma Xinxin ran in. "Oh no, Zheng Shuai is missing." Ma Xinxin knocked on the door for a long time, but no one opened the door. His phone was turned off when she called him. Ma Xinxin began to worry about him. "What? Gone? How did he disappear?" Chairman Gu suddenly jumped up. He was more worried about Qin Feng than anyone else. Rao Sherman also stood up and looked at Ma Xinxin anxiously. Xian, tell me the specifics. What's going on?" "I knocked on Zheng Shuai's door, but no one answered. I called his phone, but it was turned off. Did something happen?" Everyone stood up when they learned that Zheng Shuai had gone missing. Only Zhang Kuku continued to chew on a huge crab. As she chewed on it, she mumbled, Relax. That ugly man looks like he's not serious at all. He must have deliberately turned off his phone to go out and pick up girls. Besides, he's so ugly the human traffickers wouldn't kidnap him. If they can't sell him, they'll have to pay for it." Everyone was speechless when they heard Zhang Kuku's words. She looked so cute and pure, but why was her mouth so poisonous? Qin Feng had already boarded the ferry to Hong Kong. As soon as he sat down, he sneezed incessantly. Someone was cursing him behind his back. Cough, cough. Kuku's words make sense. I think we should sit down and wait for a while. Maybe Zheng Shuai will be back soon. Director Gu came back to his senses and began to persuade everyone to sit down. Director Gu held this banquet tonight and even specially invited Lu Hai to suppress Zheng Shuai. He was so scared that Zheng Shuai didn't dare to take even half a step into Hong Kong. Now that Zheng Shuai didn't come, Director Gu was going to die of depression. He could only try his best to stall for time. Lu Hai and Sister Ling had already sat down, but Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin were still a little worried. Lu Hai hurriedly said, Beauty Sherman, quickly sit down. Don't be polite with me. We're all on the same side tonight, so we must eat and have fun. Also, Beauty Xian, quickly sit down. Zheng Shuai is such a big person, you can't lose him. Lu Hai was very happy that Zheng Shuai didn't come. This saved him the trouble of teaching Zheng Shuai a lesson. Everyone persuaded Ma Xinxin to take a seat. She was embarrassed to stand by the side alone, so she sat next to Sister Ling, seeing that the beauties had all taken their seats. Lu Hai couldn't wait any longer. He raised his wine cup and said to Ma Xinxin and the other two girls with a smile, Come. I, Lu Hai, offer a toast to the three beauties. It's my honor to be able to meet such beautiful beauties like you. Director Gu and Guo still wanted to delay the banquet, but Lu Hai was extremely anxious. The two of them didn't want to spoil Lu Hai's mood. They all stood up. Zhang Kuku was like someone from another world. She sat there and continued to eat. After seeing Zhang Kuku's poisonous tongue, no one dared to provoke her, so they simply ignored her. Young Master Lu, I'll use tea instead of wine. Rao Sherman picked up the teacup and took a sip. Lu Hai raised his eyebrows and said with some displeasure, Miss Sherman, you're not being kind enough. I'm your hardcore fan, and I'm toasting you from the bottom of my heart. How can you use tea instead? A hint of impatience flashed through the depths of Rao Sherman's eyes. She said in a tough voice, Young Master Lu, I've never drunk. I hope you can understand. After Rao Sherman finished speaking, she sat back down. She had long seen through Lu Hai's intentions. These men didn't have any good intentions. Ma Xinxin also drank tea and sat back down after drinking. This time, Lu Hai was extremely embarrassed. He hurriedly gave Director Gu a look. Hee. Young Master Lu, come, let me toast you. Director Gu hurriedly raised his wine cup to smooth things over. Guo also echoed. Young Master Lu, this lowly one also toasts you. I hope young Master Lu will take care of me in the future. The three men drank a cup. That scene was also sad enough. After drinking, the three of them sat back down. Just as Lu Hai's butt landed on the chair, he suddenly jumped up with a strange cry. Ouch! What the fuck is this thing? It stabbed me to death. Young Master Lu, are you alright? Young Master Lu, what happened to you? Guo and Director Gu were shocked and stood up. Ma Xinxin and the other two girls also looked at Lu Hai curiously. On Lu Hai's chair, there was a hairy crab. Lu Hai sat down and flattened the hairy crab. Even the crab roe was sitting on his butt. Ma Xinxin and the other two girls couldn't help but laugh out loud. Director Gu and Guo mouth twitched. Everyone didn't need to think to guess that this was done by Zhang Kuku. Only that woman could do such a wicked thing. Zhang Kuku. You're fucking sick. Lu Hai's sitting was really painful. At this moment, there was still a crab pincer stuck in his white trousers. The crab roe dyed his white trousers red. It felt like he had pooped it, and everyone felt disgusted looking at him. Lu Hai was completely furious. He didn't care whether he was picking up girls or not. He pointed at Zhang Kuku and cursed. Young Master Lu, Kuku is just too playful. I can apologize to you if she did something wrong, but please don't yell at her. You scared Kuku. Rao Sherman stood up angrily. Sister Ling immediately ran to Zhang Kuku's side to protect her, afraid that Lu Hai would make a move. Too playful? I think she did it on purpose. You said I scared her? She almost scared me to death. Lu Hai felt like he was about to die. It was as if he was bullying Zhang Kuku when he was the victim. Rao Sherman opened her mouth and wanted to say a few words to help Zhang Kuku. However, she couldn't say anything after thinking for a long time. Lu Hai seemed to be the victim. The atmosphere became very strange. Lu Hai glared at Zhang Kuku with a vicious look on his face. He couldn't wait to tear Zhang Kuku into pieces. Director Gu and Guo stood at the side and didn't say anything because they were holding back their laughter. They were afraid that they wouldn't be able to hold back their laughter. Ma Xinxin and Sister Ling were speechless. Rao Sherman didn't know what to say. At this time, Zhang Kuku finally put down the food in her hand and glared at Lu Hai angrily. As soon as she opened her mouth, everyone almost fainted from the shock. Ah, my little yellow crab, you died so miserably. This bastard actually sat on your yellow crab. You bastard, hurry up and accompany my little yellow crab. Otherwise, little yellow crab will become a ghost and clamp you to death. Lu Hai was so angry that he almost fainted. He shouted at Zhang Kuku. What the hell is wrong with you? When the crab was delivered, it was already cooked. You secretly placed the crab on my chair. Laozi still hasn't settled the score with you. I, Lu Hai, have never dared to offend Laozi in Hong Kong. Zhang Kuku pouted. She was a little angry. Nonsense. The little yellow crab was alive. It only climbed onto your chair to play, but you cruelly sat on it and killed it. Lu Hai felt that he was no longer able to communicate normally with Zhang Kiki. and looked at Rauscher Man with a cold face. Tell me, what should we do about this? I am very angry now, and the consequences will be very serious. The atmosphere instantly turned cold. When Lu Hai was angry, he was still very strong. Cough cough. Sure man, quickly put in a good word for Kiki. If not, give young Master Lu 3 cups of wine. Kiki was indeed in the wrong. What could she have done wrong? Why did he have to play with crabs? This is hurting young Master Lu's butt. His image will be ruined. Chairman Gu had already stood up and began to persuade Rauscher Man was almost angered to death by Zhang Kuku. This girl could do anything when she was angry, and Rauscher Man had to clean up her mess every time. Young Master Lu, Kiki is still a child and often does strange things. I believe she has no ill intentions. Let me give young Master Lu a cup of wine. I hope you won't take offense. Rauscher Man never drank, but when something like this happened, she had no choice but to raise her cup and plead for Zhang Kuku. Lu Hai still kept a straight face, but he was a little excited in his heart. Because this matter could make the beautiful girl group drink as an apology, it was to Lu Hai's liking. When the 2 girls were drunk, he would teach them a lesson in bed tonight. Especially Zhang Kuku, Lu Hai wanted to play with her 10 times. Humph. For Chairman Gu's sake, I can let you go tonight, but you and Zhang Kuku must each give me 3 cups of white wine. Otherwise, there's no need to talk. Lu Hai said forcefully. Chapter 899. Rauscher Man looked at the white wine glass in front of her and frowned. Tonight was a hangmen banquet. President Gu and Guotao wanted to drive Zheng Shui away, while Lu Hai wanted to get the beautiful girls drunk. Therefore, the white wine glasses tonight were the biggest ones, almost the same size as the ones used to drink draft beer. After drinking 3 glasses of white wine, not to mention Rauscher Man and Zhang Kuku, even Guotao and the other 2 old drunkards wouldn't be able to take it. Young Master Lu, how about 1 glass? Rauscher Man looked at Lu Hai awkwardly. Lu Hai didn't give them any face. He had long lost his patience. This time, he must force the 2 girls to get drunk. Miss Sherman, are you not giving me face? Fine, I Lu Hai never like to force others. Let's settle the debt just now. Zhang Kuku secretly tricked me. I'll give her 2 big slaps. Lu Hai was relatively fat and tall. When he stood up, he was half a head taller than Zhang Kuku. That fat and strong arm of Zhang Kuku's 3 thin elbows. If these 2 slaps really landed, Zhang Kuku would definitely faint. Young Master Lu, aren't you going too far? Rauscher Man was angry and shouted with a cold face. Too far? Why didn't you say too much when I was tricked by that girl? Lu Hai didn't back down. His voice was even louder than Rauscher Man's. President Gu, I'm going back with Kuku. Do as you see fit. Rauscher Man was too lazy to drink and pulled Zhang Kuku away. When did Zhang Kuku get beaten up? No matter what, Rauscher Man wouldn't let Lu Hai do it. President Gu didn't expect the situation to develop like this. That Zheng Shui hasn't even arrived yet. Why are they fighting? Miss Sherman, you're putting me in a difficult position. Young Master Lu is one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. The Lu family has a prominent position in Hong Kong. I think the 2 of you should toast young Master Lu 3 glasses of wine. Don't worry, after drinking, I'll let Guotao send you back. President Gu quickly came back to his senses. Of course, he was on Lu Hai's side. Rauscher Man was so angry that her breathing quickened. She had long guessed that there was no good intention in tonight's banquet. At some point, Guotao was already standing at the entrance of the banquet hall, looking like he was blocking everyone from leaving. After Director Gu finished persuading Rauscher Man, he stopped talking. Lu Hai stood in his position and looked at the 2 girls covetously. The atmosphere in the hall became incomparably heavy. What are you doing standing at the door? Get out of the way. Ma Xinxin suddenly stepped forward. She could tell that something was wrong with the situation tonight. She quickly dragged Rauscher Man and Zhang Kuku out of the room. Guotao looked at the girls with a playful smile, not putting them in his eyes at all. Hee hee, beauties, why don't you go and give young Master Lu a toast? Otherwise, everyone will lose face. Ma Xinxin ignored Guotao and shouted in a deep voice. Less nonsense, are you going to move or not? I won't let you. What can you do to me? Die. Just as Guatao was feeling smug and had a cheeky smile on his face, Ma Xinxin suddenly lifted her leg and sent Guatao flying. Ever since Qin Feng taught Ma Xinxin how to use inner qi to hit people, Ma Xinxin realized that her temper had become more and more irritable. In the blink of an eye, Guatao was lying in the corridor and couldn't get up. He was screaming in pain. Rao Sherman and the others were stunned. They didn't expect Ma Xinxin, who looked so weak, to be so fierce when she attacked. Sherman Cuckoo big sister Ling, let's go. Ma Xinxin took the lead and walked out like a big sister. The three girls hastily followed her. None of them wanted to stay any longer. Director Gu and Lu Hai were dumbfounded. They still hadn't regained their senses. Ma Xinxin sent Guatao flying with a kick? Is this real? Why you come back here? Lu Hai shouted angrily after he regained his senses. Director Gu was also enraged. Rao Sherman, if you leave now, don't come back. I'll replace you with someone else and ban you from the movie. You want to be in the film industry? No way. The girls who had just walked out of the room stopped abruptly. The movie Hedonist Sovereign was very important to the beautiful girl group. This was the first time Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku had switched from being a singer to being in the film industry. Rao Sherman cherished this opportunity very much. She was in a dilemma. Ma Xinxin, you should think this through. If you leave now, it'll be a breach of contract. I won't pay Zheng Shuai a single cent, and I'll cancel his role as the male lead. Director Gu continued when he saw the girls stopped moving. Ma Xinxin was also in a dilemma. She knew Qin Feng really wanted to enter the film industry, just like how he said he wanted to be a singer. Although Ma Xinxin didn't understand why Qin Feng wanted to be a star, she would support him wholeheartedly. Ma Xinxin returned to the hall. She didn't want to ruin Qin Feng's dream of becoming a star because of her stubbornness. Rao Sherman hesitated for a moment before she pulled Zhang Kuku back to the hall. The three girls felt helpless. When they saw the three girls, a sneer flashed across President Gu and Lu Hai's eyes. The two of them had fooled around with countless superstars in Hong Kong. Many of them were as arrogant and unyielding as Rao Sherman and the others at first, but in the end, they still had to listen obediently. Sherman, you're the one who understands the big picture the most. I advise you to offer a toast and apologize to young Master Lu. This isn't a big deal to begin with, so why did it have to escalate to this extent? Chairman Gu's attitude softened a little, and he began to persuade Rao Sherman in various ways. Rao Sherman bit her lip. She really hated drinking, but when she thought of the movie Hedonist Sovereign, she walked to the table and picked up her wine glass. Young Master Lu, Kiki was in the wrong just now. As Kik's sister, I apologize on her behalf. The two of us have 6 glasses of wine. I'll drink alone. Rao Sherman picked up the glass of white wine and was about to drink it when Zhang Kuku hastily stopped her. Sherman, you can't drink. Rao Sherman shook off Zhang Kuku's hand and yelled angrily, stand down, or I'll sew your mouth shut if you talk nonsense again. Zhang Kuku pouted and put on a pitiful expression. However, she held on tightly to Rao Sherman's arm and refused to let go. Sherman, I'm the one who should be punished for my mistake. It's just 6 glasses of white wine, I'll drink alone. When Zhang Kuku acted willfully, no one could stop her. Rao Sherman was distracted, and the wine glass was snatched away by Zhang Kuku. Zhang Kuku raised her head, as if she was going to finish the wine in one gulp. Just as her mouth touched the spicy white wine, a familiar voice came from outside the door. Ha! You guys are so unkind. I, the main character of the night, haven't arrived yet, and you guys have already started the banquet? The hall suddenly fell into silence. Everyone's gaze was fixed on the door. Zhang Kuku threw the wine glass aside before she could drink it. She threw herself into his arms and hugged him coquettishly. Big brother Zheng Shuai, you're finally here. I've missed you so much. Zhang Kuku's body was soft and fragrant. She hugged Qin Feng's waist tightly. However, Qin Feng did not dare to hug this sharp-tongued girl, as he was afraid it was a trap. Kuku, we're not that close yet. Let go of me. Qin Feng sneezed nonstop when he was on the ferry. He suspected that Zhang Kuku was bad-mouthing him behind his back. Although he felt comfortable being hugged by Zhang Kuku, He dared not enjoy the intimacy before he figured out the situation. Sob sob. Big brother Zheng Shuai. Someone bullied Cuckoo, Sherman, and Xian. Please help us teach him a lesson. Zhang Cuckoo would call Qin Feng ugly when she had nothing to do, and she would call him big brother Zheng Shuai when she had something to do. Qin Feng glanced at the hall and found Lu Hai was there as well. He understood everything the moment he saw Lu Hai. Who bullied you? Qin Feng asked. Zhang Cuckoo hastily pointed at Lu Hai and said, It's that ugly guy. He's uglier than big brother Zheng Shuai. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. Anger rose in his heart. How did he bully you? He said Cuckoo is sick. Zhang Cuckoo pouted. Her cute look could melt a person's heart. Qin Feng was slightly stunned. He's telling the truth. Zhang Cuckoo angrily pinched Qin Feng's waist. Qin Feng did not feel any pain. He dragged Zhang Cuckoo to the dining table. Sherman, Xian, are you all right? Qin Feng looked at the two girls and felt relieved when he confirmed that they were not bullied. Ma Xian ran to Qin Feng's side. She glared at Qin Feng worriedly and angrily. Where have you been? Why did you turn off your phone? I was dealing with some personal matters, Qin Feng replied perfunctorily. Then he looked at President Gu and said with a smile, President Gu, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Who is this brother? President Gu and Lu Hai were still in a daze. They saw that Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were about to drink, but Zheng Shuai suddenly appeared and infuriated them. Hee, Mr. Zheng Shuai, this is Lu Hai, one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. Young Master Lu, this is Zheng Shuai. I've mentioned him to you before. After President Gu regained his senses, he became excited again. He held the banquet tonight to get Lu Hai to chase Zheng Shuai away. President Gu gave Lu Hai a look, and Lu Hai understood everything. So it's young Master Lu. What a pleasure to meet you. Qin Feng looked at Lu Hai with a smile. Lu Hai didn't even bother to stand up. He arrogantly glared at Qin Feng. Alright, an ugly country bumpkin like you has too low of a status. You're not fit to be my friend. Right now, Sherman and Kiki are about to toast me. Go where you're having fun. Lu Hai looked down on Qin Feng. His attitude and tone were like dismissing a beggar. President Gu was overjoyed. He liked to see Qin Feng being abused. Qin Feng did not care. As if he did not hear Lu Hai's words, he leisurely walked to the empty seat next to Lu Hai and sat down. Oh, so we have to propose a toast. But Sherman and the others don't know how to drink, so don't drink. Qin Feng's sudden arrival calmed the 3 girls. It was a strange feeling. They did not know why. Rao Sherman had already pulled Zhang Cuckoo and Sister Ling to sit down. She did not intend to propose another toast. Ma Xinxin also sat beside the 3 girls. The 4 girls looked at Qin Feng and Lu Hai, waiting for a good show. Chapter 900. Lu Hai was so angry that his nose was crooked. I let the beautiful girl group toast. What the hell are you, a country bumpkin, doing? However, Chairman Gu was secretly happy in his heart. He was also waiting to watch a show, but the show he was watching was different from the 3 girls. He wanted to see Qin Feng being abused. Zheng Shuai, right? I'll let you know now that in my eyes, you're not even worth a fart. Lu Hai was already angered to death by Zhang Cuckoo. The anger that he had been holding back for an entire night completely erupted. He immediately stood up, picked up a full cup of white wine, and splashed it at Qin Feng's face in front of everyone. Swish! He had already made his move, and the white wine was already floating in the air. Everyone was shocked. The few girls widened their eyes in worry. This time, Qin Feng's face was going to be completely lost. Haha. Good. Chairman Gu was so excited that he had already jumped up. He was about to add oil to the fire and mock Qin Feng. But just as the words left his mouth, he forcefully swallowed them back. Because the situation had changed drastically, completely exceeding everyone's expectations. The cup of white wine that was originally splashed at Qin Feng suddenly splashed onto Lu Hai's face. Lu Hai looked like he had just washed his hair, and his hair was stuck to his scalp. However, he did not react, and stood there with an expression of dementia. Fuck. What's going on? Lu Hai let out a strange cry. He was scared to death. He suddenly remembered the scene when he met Qin Feng on the plane. In the middle of winter, Lu Hai kept pouring iced orange juice on his head. Just thinking about it made him feel scared. Young Master Lu, are you okay? Chairman Gu came back to his senses and looked at Lu Hai in disbelief. Lu Hai felt that he had lost all face. Without saying a word, he picked up another cup of white wine and splashed it at Qin Feng's face. The previous cup of white wine was splashed too suddenly, and the girls did not have time to react. This time, the girls all came back to their senses and screamed. Ah! Before the screams in front of them stopped, the girls cried out in alarm again. The strange scene appeared again. The white wine that was originally splashed at Qin Feng landed on Lu Hai's face again. The fiery wine made Lu Hai's eyes swollen. Oh my god! Young Master Lu, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. Tung Gu was stunned by Lu Hai's self-mutilation. He even started to suspect that he had found the wrong person. Ma Xinxin and the other girls regained their senses and laughed so hard that they bent over. Zhang Kuku had never cared about her image. She sat on the ground and laughed so hard that her face was covered with tears. From Qin Feng's angle, he could easily see her naked body under her skirt. Lu Hai immediately wiped his face. It was so hot that he sneezed. Finally coming back to his senses, Lu Hai was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He came here tonight to pick up girls, not to show off. Brat, you're playing dirty, aren't you? I'll kill you. Lu Hai's 2 cups of white wine had completely angered him. He casually picked up the bottle of Maotai that had just been opened and smashed it towards Qin Feng's head. He did not believe that he would not be able to deal with Qin Feng this time. Gulp gulp. Halfway through the bottle, the force on it suddenly disappeared, and an invisible force pushed the bottle to the top of Lu Hai's head. Lu Hai watched as the entire bottle of white wine slid down his head, but he did not even have the strength to resist. That pair of hands seemed to be grabbed by someone, hanging above his head, and unable to be put down. The white wine was so hot that he had only heard of people who drank from the bottle. This was the first time he had seen Lu Hai use white wine to take a bath. The surrounding laughter became even louder. Even Director Gu was amused by Lu Hai and laughed out loud, momentarily forgetting the true purpose of the night. However, Lu Hai did not care about these mocking laughs. He had also forgotten about the burning feeling of the white wine falling on his body. Lu Hai was shocked. He realized that the situation tonight was the same as the time on the plane. It was just that the iced orange juice had been replaced with spicy white wine. Gulp gulp. An entire bottle of white wine was poured onto his body. Lu Hai's shirt was completely wet and stuck to his skin. It felt extremely uncomfortable, but Lu Hai did not have the time to care about it. He put down the white wine and immediately looked towards Qin Feng. You, who the hell are you? Lu Hai seemed to have changed into a different person. Just a moment ago, he was arrogant and despotic, but now he was scared like a grandson. The girls stopped laughing and were shocked by this scene. Director Guo was also confused. Could it be that the white wine had entered Lu Hai's brain and made him stupid? He had always heard that his brain was filled with water, but this was the first time he had heard that his brain was filled with white wine. Young Master Lu, don't you recognize me? I am celebrity Zheng Shuai. I heard that young Master Lu is one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. I hope that young Master Lu will take care of me in the future. Qin Feng smiled as he looked at Lu Hai. It felt like Qin Feng was fawning on Lu Hai, but Lu Hai did not think so. Lu Hai was already extremely clear-headed. He could see the playful smile in Zheng Shuai's eyes. Lu Hai suspected that the reason why the wine was splashed on him was definitely because of Zheng Shuai. But Lu Hai did not know what Zheng Shuai was up to. This Zheng Shuai was as scary as Qin Feng. Lu Hai was so scared that he almost peed his pants. You, spare me this once, I won't dare anymore. Lu Hai had been tortured badly by Qin Feng before. When he saw someone with the same mystical ability as Qin Feng, Lu Hai was so scared that he did not have the slightest bit of temper. He wanted to kneel in front of Zheng Shuai. Young Master Lu, what do you mean by that? Why can't I understand? My master told me a joke before. He once took a plane and met an idiot passenger. That passenger asked for a bucket of iced orange juice in the middle of winter, and then poured it all on himself. Later on, my master called him Orange Juice Bro. Young Master Lu, you can compete with that orange juice bro. You can just call him white wine bro. Qin Feng told a joke that made the girls laugh heartily again. Lu Hai could not laugh no matter what. He was so scared that he was crying. What's your master's name? Lu Hai was trembling as he spoke. He was 90% sure that Zheng Shuai's master was Qin Feng. If that was really the case, Lu Hai had already thought about it. He would immediately kneel down and apologize to Zheng Shuai and the few beauties. My master is a hermit expert. You are not worthy to know his name. But before my master left, he gave me a poisonous needle. This thing is said to be very powerful. I have never had the time to test it. Young Master Lu, would you like to let me take a look? Qin Feng waved his hand, and like a magic trick, a 5-poison needle appeared in his hand. Back then, when Qin Feng completed the money laundering mission in Hong Kong, he used the 5-poison needle to stab Lu Hai in order to enter the Dafu gambling city, and then asked Lu Hai to help him get in. That needle had taken half of Lu Hai's life. In the 3 days that he had been stabbed, Lu Hai had vomited and lost control of his bowels. It was an experience worse than death. Lu Hai's memory of the 5-poison needle was still fresh in his mind. Seeing the silver needle in Qin Feng's hand, he was so scared that he immediately jumped up. Your master is? Young Master Lu, I advise you not to say my master's name. He likes peace and quiet, so be careful not to bring you a fatal disaster. Without waiting for Lu Hai to call out his name, Qin Feng interrupted him. Lu Hai immediately covered his mouth. He was scared like a little chick. This scene shocked everyone. It was as if they were watching a movie. Zheng, Big Brother Zheng, I still don't want to be a test subject. I beg Big Brother Zheng to spare me. Spare me this time, I'll kowtow to you. After confirming Zheng Shuai's identity, Lu Hai knelt on the ground without saying a word. This was young Master Lu, one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. And he knelt down just like that? Director Gu's eyeballs almost fell to the ground. This world was too fucking crazy. Song Jiji wanted to be Ma Rong's best man. Ayo! Young Master Lu, why are you doing this? It's fine if you don't want to be a test subject, but why are you kneeling down to me? How do you want me to take responsibility for this? No matter what, you should at least kowtow again. Director Gu rolled his eyes and almost fainted from fright. What was the background of this Zheng Shuai? Was this really a country bumpkin from the countryside? Why don't I believe it? The girls stopped laughing because they were scared silly. They had heard of Lu Hai's name before. Since when were the 4 young masters of Hong Kong so worthless? Bang! Amidst everyone's astonishment and shock, Lu Hai did not hesitate and kowtowed. After kowtowing once, Lu Hai felt that it was not enough. Bang bang bang. He kowtowed 3 times in a row towards Rauscher Man and the other 2 girls. Big Brother Zheng, 3 sisters-in-law. This little brother has eyes but cannot see. This little brother is really wrong. I hope that Big Brother and sisters-in-law can forgive this little brother. Please don't stab this little brother. Qin Feng held the silver needles with a cold expression, just like Granny Rong. After Lu Hai kowtowed 4 times, Rauscher Man and the other 2 girls were stunned. They never thought that young Master Lu would kowtow to them and admit his mistake. Were they dreaming? You ugly man, now you know how powerful I am. Let me tell you, Big Brother Zheng Shuai is my boyfriend. Let's see if you still dare to bully Cuckoo in the future. Zhang Cuckoo had been scolded by Lu Hai for a long time, so she was not in a good mood. Now she could finally vent her anger. In order to scare Lu Hai, this girl actually shamelessly said that Zheng Shuai was her boyfriend. Sister-in-law Cuckoo, this little brother doesn't dare anymore. In the future, this little brother will do anything to serve sister-in-law. Under the prestige of Zheng Shuai's master as Qin Feng, Lu Hai was truly afraid. He was so afraid that he did not even have the slightest thought of revenge. Because Lu Hai had seen Qin Feng's strength, he did not want to become enemies with Qin Feng even if he was beaten to death. During the whole process of begging for mercy, Director Gu had dementia. With great difficulty, Guo climbed up from the corridor outside. Just as he returned to his room, he was frightened by the scene in front of him. An ugly and incompetent man, like you makes me lose my appetite when I see you. Hurry up and leave. With one hand on her waist, Zhang Kuku pointed at Lu Hai and scolded him with the other. She felt like a big sister, which made Zhang Kuku extremely happy. Lu Hai had long wanted to leave, but he did not dare to. He carefully looked at Zheng Shuai. Zheng Shuai was the real big brother here. Why are you looking at me? Could it be that you changed your mind and want me to stab you? Qin Feng curled his lips and muttered. Chapter 901. Lu Hai had been gone for a while now. The hall was still immersed in a strange atmosphere. Qin Feng chuckled as he looked at CEO Gu and broke the silence. CEO Gu, young Master Lu is quite funny. I don't know him at all, but he kept calling me big brother and kowtowing to me. I was so nervous that I forgot to give him a red packet. Will he send someone to kill me? Qin Feng's act was so real that CEO Gu finally regained his composure. He didn't know what to say. CEO Gu refused to believe that Lu Hai didn't know Zheng Shuai. Who was Lu Hai? There was no one in Hong Kong who could make Lu Hai afraid of him. He must be an extremely powerful person. CEO Gu couldn't figure out Qin Feng's background. Who is this guy? Haha. Don't worry, Mr. Zheng Shuai. Young Master Lu isn't a petty person. He won't look for trouble with you anymore. CEO Gu looked at Qin Feng with a smile. After what happened just now, CEO Gu didn't dare to offend Qin Feng. Qin Feng and CEO Gu chatted casually for a while, and the atmosphere returned to normal. It was as if nothing had happened, as if Lu Hai had never been there. CEO Gu and Guotao sat together and buried their heads in their food. They were so hungry that they didn't want to talk anymore. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin heaved a sigh of relief. After such a commotion, the two girls were hungry and began to chew slowly. Zhang Kuku had already run to Qin Feng's side and sat down. She kicked her slender legs and asked Qin Feng to help her eat. Qin Feng didn't dare to offend this young lady, so he tried his best to serve Zhang Kuku well. Otherwise, this girl would start to insult people when she was unhappy. Even Qin Feng was afraid of her mouth. Zhang Kuku enjoyed this treatment very much. She gnawed on the lamb chop while her big eyes rolled around, as if she was thinking about something. Teacher Qiao Feng. Zhang Kuku suddenly moved her face close to Qin Feng's ear. Her oily lips almost touched Qin Feng's face. She lowered her voice and called out to Qin Feng. What do you want to eat this time? Qin Feng responded instinctively. As soon as he finished speaking, his expression changed drastically. He realized something was wrong. Ahem. What did you call me just now? I didn't hear it clearly. Zhang Kuku's eyes darted back and forth, and a strange smile flickered in her eyes. Suddenly, she stretched out her greasy hand and touched Qin Feng's face. Hey, what's wrong with you, girl? Isn't there a napkin over there? Are you going to wipe it on my face? Qin Feng angrily slapped Zhang Kuku's dirty little hand away. This girl is really crazy. Some of her actions are simply unreasonable. Zhang Kuku, on the other hand, froze in her seat and did not react at all. When Zhang Kuku touched the scar on Qin Feng's face, she couldn't feel the scar at all. It was smooth and soft, but there was no scar on his face. Zhang Kuku nodded and became more certain of her speculation. When Lu Hai suddenly pleaded with Zheng Shuai and treated Zheng Shuai like his grandfather, Zhang Kuku had discovered something fishy. She felt that Lu Hai knew Zheng Shuai and was even suppressed by Zheng Shuai before. However, Lu Hai only pleaded with Zheng Shuai later on. This meant that Zheng Shuai had changed his appearance, and Lu Hai didn't recognize him at first. Ever since Qin Feng's clan announced his 3 identities to the public, Zhang Kuku had purposely investigated Qin Feng's identity. Zhang Kuku found out that Qin Feng had been to Hong Kong not long ago. Hence, she made a bold guess that Zheng Shuai might be Qin Feng's disguise. Kuku, are you trying to piss me off? Can you please calm down for a while? Rao Sherman was infuriated by Zhang Kuku. Zheng Shuai had saved everyone tonight. But not only did Zhang Kuku not thank him, she even rubbed her greasy hand on his face. I was wrong, okay? Qin, big brother Zheng Shuai, don't be angry. Kuku will listen to you from now on. I won't make you angry anymore. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin were startled by Zhang Kuku's sudden change in attitude. They thought that she was possessed by a ghost. Qin Feng was also scared out of his wits. He jumped up and ran to Ma Xinxin's side. He didn't dare to get close to Zhang Kuku anymore. It seemed like she had discovered something. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief when Zhang Kuku did not follow him. However, Zhang Kuku sat on her seat and seemed to be thinking about something. She would let out a sinister laugh from time to time. Her laughter scared everyone so much that they stopped eating. Xian, are you done eating? Let's go back. Qin Feng couldn't stand Zhang Kuku anymore. Every time he looked into Zhang Kuku's eyes, her eyes were filled with mischievous laughter and a you-know-what-I-mean expression. Qin Feng felt that she had discovered something. Ma Xinxin left with Qin Feng after she was done eating. Rao Sherman and Big Sister Ling were also done eating. Rao Sherman ran to Zhang Kuku and covered her mouth to stop her from laughing. Then she dragged Zhang Kuku away. Only CEO Gu and Guatao were left in the living room. When they saw Zheng Shuai had left, they quickly put down their chopsticks. In order to avoid talking to Qin Feng, they pretended to be eating, and their stomachs were about to explode. Holy shit! CEO Gu, what happened just now? Why did young Master Lu recognize Zheng Shuai as his big brother? Guatao had been holding back this question for a long time, but he didn't dare to ask it when Qin Feng was around. Guatao was sent flying by Ma Xinxin's kick. He fainted in the corridor for a while. He didn't know what happened when he left. Since Guatao couldn't figure it out, CEO Gu was even more confused. In the past, he had never heard of Lu Hai having schizophrenia or indirect neuropathy. But why did Lu Hai suddenly get sick tonight? CEO Gu regretted calling this lunatic over. Not only did he not chase Zheng Shuai away, he even gave him a chance to act tough. Lu Hai's plan is ruined. Hurry up and think of another way. This movie is about to start filming. I don't want that ugly Zheng Shuai to be the male lead. If that's the case, who would dare to watch the movies produced by our company in the future? CEO Gu was very angry. He was a big shot in the Hong Kong entertainment industry, yet he couldn't even beat a singer who had just entered the industry. Guatao was also very angry. He didn't manage to beat Zheng Shuai away tonight, but he was kicked away by a woman. Guatao clenched his teeth and swore that one day, he would tie Ma Xinxin to the bed and play with her to death. CEO Gu, don't worry, I'll go back and think of a new way. I'll definitely be able to chase Zheng Shuai away. Then that's it. I'll go back and rest first. Guatao and CEO Gu also left the hall. At this time, Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin had already returned to their hotel rooms and entered Ma Xinxin's room. The two of them opened the same suite, but Ma Xinxin's room was already filled with the fragrance of a woman. There were even a few books and some fruits on the coffee table in the living room. Qin Feng, where did you go last night? Ma Xinxin called Qin Feng to her room to ask him questions. Something happened to Leah. I went to take care of it. Qin Feng didn't hide anything from Ma Xinxin and told her the truth. Ma Xinxin's expression turned ugly as she said coldly, "You're already in Hong Kong, yet you still care about that woman's matters. You sure have nothing better to do. There's some danger on Xiaoya's side, so of course I have to rush over. Just like if you were bullied. Even if I was abroad, I would rush back to save you," Qin Feng said indifferently, but it was all from the bottom of his heart. Ma Xinxin originally wanted to use this matter to argue with Qin Feng. However, after hearing Qin Feng's words, the resentment in her heart instantly dissipated and was replaced by a warm feeling. Oh right, when will Hedonist Sovereign start filming? Qin Feng got to the point. He became a celebrity to complete the system's mission. I think it'll take a few more days. Ma Xinxin wasn't angry anymore. She took the initiative to lean against Qin Feng on the sofa. Qin Feng wanted to complete the mission as soon as possible, so he didn't have time to waste. We still have to wait. Why? CEO Gu said that the female lead, Cher's schedule is too full these days, so she'll only be here in a few days. We'll start filming when she's here. CEO Gu's words were just an excuse because Cher's scenes were at the end. She didn't appear in the first few episodes, so she was dragging it out because she didn't want Qin Feng to act in this movie. Cher, this woman is such a burden, Qin Feng complained casually. Hee, weren't you looking forward to filming with the Pretty Girls group and Cher a few days ago? Now you know how to complain. Ma Xinxin looked at Qin Feng with schadenfreude. Qin Feng curled his lips and knocked on Ma Xinxin's head. You little girl. How dare you laugh at your employer? Believe it or not, I'll fire you as my manager. Ma Xinxin pouted. She wasn't afraid of Qin Feng's threat at all. She pinched Qin Feng's thigh and yelled, Don't you dare. If you fire me, I'll upload the video of you sleeping with me online and ruin your reputation. Qin Feng was stunned. He said, Do you have a video? Show it to me first. Qin Feng couldn't remember when he had slept with Ma Xinxin. He wanted to, but would Ma Xinxin agree? Anyway, I have it. Be careful. Ma Xinxin's voice was a little weak. She quickly changed the topic. Oh right, your fans on Weibo are in an uproar. They're all saying that you're going to release a new song soon. Qin Feng had recently changed his career to the film and television industry. He hadn't released a new song for a long time. His 20 million fans were worried sick. They wanted to dig up Qin Feng's family's ancestral grave. Qin Feng took Ma Xinxin's phone and scanned the comments on Weibo. Handsome Zheng, hurry up and release a new song. I've been waiting for you on Weibo a few hundred times a day. Big brother Zheng, I was wrong. I won't say you're ugly anymore. Hurry up and release a new song. My girlfriend has been in a bad mood because you haven't released a new song. She keeps asking me to kneel on the washboard. There's a kind of handsomeness called handsome Zheng. It's handsomeness that comes from the heart and transcends the soul. This kind of handsomeness will become a legend that will never be forgotten. Chapter 902. Qin Feng felt embarrassed when he read those comments. Why are these fans telling the truth? Ma Xinxin snatched her cell phone from Qin Feng's hand. She couldn't allow Qin Feng to continue reading these comments. Qin Feng was already narcissistic enough. What would happen if he became even more narcissistic? If you have time, go record your song. What's so interesting about these serious and nonsensical comments? They're all lies. Hey, what are you talking about? They're telling the truth. How are they lying? Qin Feng was displeased. They're lying. Stop being so narcissistic. Hurry up and record your song. Ma Xinxin refused to admit Qin Feng's handsomeness. She realized that Zheng Shuai's face had a different kind of handsomeness after looking at him for a long time. Qin Feng knew Ma Xinxin was jealous that he had more and more female fans, so he didn't expose her. I'm too lazy to sing. Why don't you upload the duet with Sherman that night? Oh right. I almost forgot about that precious video. Ma Xinxin became excited when she thought of the duet. Qin Feng wanted to sleep in Ma Xinxin's room, but he was mercilessly chased out by Ma Xinxin. The night passed peacefully. Since Shuai was absent, the movie Hedonist Sovereign couldn't be filmed for the time being. Therefore, Qin Feng and the beauty duo had nothing to do. Early in the morning, everyone slept in. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuke hadn't had this much free time in a long time. Ma Xinxin's stomach growled when she woke up. She hastily put on her clothes and went out to have breakfast with Qin Feng. Ouch! Ma Xinxin heard a blood-curdling scream before she took a few steps out of the door. She seemed to have knocked someone over because she was walking too fast. Damn you! Don't you see where you're going? Fuck, it's a fat pig. How unlucky I am to be knocked over by a fat pig so early in the morning. The man on the ground was none other than Guotao. He crawled up from the ground and cursed incessantly. Last night, President Gu asked Guotao to come up with another plan. Guotao thought for a whole night, but he couldn't come up with a better idea. He stayed in the hotel to observe Zheng Shuai's movements and search for a chance to chase Zheng Shuai away. At this time, Guotao also woke up to eat. He didn't expect to be knocked over by an ugly woman who was as fat as a mountain. Ma Xinxin was very angry. Guotao actually dared to call her a fat pig? Ma Xinxin was about to refute Guotao, but she suddenly swallowed her words. Ma Xinxin seemed to have realized something and hurriedly looked at her own body. Ah! Ma Xinxin screamed in fright at the sight of her fat body. Before coming to Hong Kong, Ma Xinxin and Qin Feng lived together. Every morning, Ma Xinxin didn't need to worry. Qin Feng would come to kiss her and help her absorb the poisonous gas in her body. Now that they suddenly came to Hong Kong and lived separately, Ma Xinxin had forgotten about this matter. Holy shit! What the hell are you shouting for, you fat pig? You scared me to death. Don't say that I took advantage of you. Do you think I'm blind? Guotao's eyes widened. He was afraid that the woman in front of him was a professional scammer. If she really framed him for taking advantage of her, Guotao would definitely kill Ma Xinxin. Ma Xinxin sent Guotao flying with a kick last night, but now she didn't have the confidence. Ma Xinxin, who suddenly became fat, felt inferior. She forgot to take care of Guotao. Now she wanted to dig a hole and hide. What if Guotao recognized her as Ma Xinxin? What would she do? If news of this spread to the pretty young ladies group in Chairman Gu, would they laugh at him and Qin Feng? Would Qin Feng really abandon her in a fit of anger? Why you can't call me a fat pig? I am not a fat pig. Ma Xinxin felt wronged and tears welled up in her eyes. Ah, you're a big and sturdy man. Aren't you a fat pig? Calling you a fat pig is already praising you. How can a woman like you have the confidence to survive? Seeing you makes me nauseous. I don't even want to eat breakfast. Guotao had been unlucky recently. He was beaten by Zheng Shuai and then Ma Xinxin. He had a belly full of anger. And now he vented it all in front of this strange woman. It felt great. When Ma Xinxin heard the word fat pig, she was angry and worried. However, she didn't have the courage to continue arguing with Guotao. She immediately lowered her head and ran out. After running 2 steps, Ma Xinxin bumped into another man's embrace. Sorry. I didn't mean it. I'll be leaving first. Ma Xinxin didn't dare to look at him. She lowered her head and ran again. In the end, the other person pulled Ma Xinxin into his embrace. Ma Xinxin was so scared that she immediately looked up. Qin, Zheng Shuai. Seeing the person, Ma Xinxin cried out in surprise. Her worries and grievances settled down in an instant. Qin Feng hugged Ma Xinxin's shoulders and patted her head. His gaze fell on Guotao's face with a trace of coldness. What did you just call her? Qin Feng's voice seemed to come from hell. Guotao was so scared that his entire body trembled. He almost knelt on the ground, but he quickly calmed down. Seeing Zheng Shuai hugging a big fat pig, Guotao's eyes flashed with an evil smile. Guotao was worried about not being able to find a chance to chase Zheng Shuai away. At this moment he suddenly saw an opportunity. I just said this woman is fat like a fat pig. What did I say wrong? Guotao smiled and looked at Qin Feng. Ma Xinxin's body trembled in Qin Feng's embrace. She started to want to run again. She felt like she was embarrassing Qin Feng. Qin Feng hugged Ma Xinxin tightly and walked unhurriedly to Guotao. Do you know who she is? She's a female fan of mine. Today, she came all the way to Hong Kong to see me. You dare to insult my fan? Believe it or not, I'll hit you. Qin Feng's voice carried a hint of arrogance. Guotao felt a bit guilty, but he still pretended to be calm. So what if you're a fan? Can't people talk about your fan being fat? I just think this woman is fat, and looks like a fat pig. What are you so arrogant about? I dare you to touch me. Bang! Without another word, Qin Feng slapped Guotao across the face. Guotao spun on the spot, and his eyes were filled with little stars. I tried. Do you have any objections? This slap wasn't light. It scared Ma Xinxin. She didn't think Qin Feng would really hit her. Guotao spun a few times, and finally steadied himself. Half of his face was as swollen as Ma Xinxin's. However, Guotao's eyes carried a smile. He couldn't wait for Qin Feng to hit him. If Qin Feng dared to hit him, Guotao had a way to make him scram. Haha. Good, very good. China's popular singer Zheng Shuai, right? As expected, you're arrogant. Aren't you just a freaking singer? Are you trying to act like a big shot in front of me? Come and hit me. Continue hitting me. If you have the guts, then beat me to death. Guotao laughed crazily. He didn't care about the pain at the corner of his mouth. Today, he would be beaten to a pulp. But afterwards, he wanted Zheng Shuai to live a life worse than death. Slap. Guotao took the initiative to ask for a beating. How could Qin Feng not agree? Qin Feng had always been a lay Feng, who loved to help others without leaving his name. Without saying anything, he slapped Guotao again. Guotao started to scream. The scream was fake, as if he was about to give birth. Ma Xinxin realized something was wrong. She saw through Guotao's intentions, and immediately went to stop Qin Feng. Zheng Shuai, stop hitting me. I am leaving first. Qin Feng grabbed Ma Xinxin and sent Guotao flying with a kick. Grandson, look carefully. This is my Zheng Shuai's female fan. If anyone dares to offend my fan, I'll hit him in the face. You want to sue me? You want to use your connections to slander me? Do whatever you want. I Zheng Shuai have a bad temper. If I say I'll hit you, I'll hit you. What can you do about it? What Ma Xinxin could see, Qin Feng could see long ago. Since he already hit Guotao, Qin Feng might as well hit him fiercely. As for what tricks Guotao would play later, Qin Feng would play with him. Haha. Good, you're so fucking awesome. You're a celebrity, but I'm just a farmer. I can't do anything to you. I give up, okay? People like us at the bottom of society deserve to be hit by celebrities like you. Guotao laughed even more crazily. There were traces of blood at the corner of his mouth. It was terrifying to look at. Ma Xinxin was so anxious that tears came out. She stood in front of Qin Feng and wouldn't let him hit Guotao no matter what. Zheng Shuai W, let's go. It's all my fault for causing trouble for you. Qin Feng was almost done hitting Guotao. If he continued, Guotao's small body would be ravaged into pieces by Qin Feng. Qin Feng wasn't afraid of other people's strange gazes. He hugged Ma Xinxin's bucket-like waist and swaggered into the room. It's over, it's over. Qin Feng, why were you so impulsive? Now that you've hit Guotao, Chairman Gu will have an excuse to cancel the contract. Once they entered the room, Ma Xinxin anxiously paced back and forth. Qin Feng pulled Ma Xinxin to sit on the sofa. Without saying anything, he flipped over and sat on top of Ma Xinxin. He pressed down on her face and kissed her. Ma Xinxin was suddenly intoxicated. The worries in her mind instantly dissipated. Time seemed to stop. Sunlight shone on their faces. What a pair of good-looking people. Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin were both enchanted. The two kissed passionately. They wanted nothing more than to melt into each other's bodies. Qin Feng could feel Ma Xinxin's body quickly becoming thinner, because the white rabbit creamy candy in Qin Feng's hands went from chubby to bouncy. Ma Xinxin didn't resist or stop him. She allowed Qin Feng to dominate her body. After an unknown amount of time, Qin Feng's body suddenly rumbled. This noise was more intense than before. It scared Ma Xinxin, and she immediately came back to her senses. Ah, Qin Feng W, what's wrong? Ma Xinxin looked worriedly at Qin Feng. She felt the aura on Qin Feng's body change greatly. Qin Feng's eyes were as bright as the stars. The aura on his body was as calm as water. However, when he moved slightly, it surged like a raging wave. This was the aura of a stage 9 energy expert. Qin Feng's cultivation was crippled by the divine dragon, but he returned to the early stage of stage 9 energy after a month. He was back to his peak condition when he battled the divine dragon at Mount God Dragon. Qin Feng, who used the poisonous gas in Ma Xinxin's body to break through to stage 9 energy, felt his strength was even more ferocious than before. Chapter 903. Qin Feng had recovered his stage 9 energy and returned to his peak condition. In his excitement, he suddenly pressed Ma Xinxin down, bent down and kissed her again. Ma Xinxin had become skinnier. Her figure was sexy and pure. Ordinary men would not have the slightest ability to resist in front of her. Qin Feng's movements were very big. Ma Xinxin's skin was covered in a layer of red, and she felt as if her entire body was about to ignite. However, Ma Xinxin did not stop Qin Feng. She allowed Qin Feng to take her and taste her. When Ma Xinxin was fat and ugly, no one liked her. Everyone even distanced themselves from her and attacked her with malicious words. Just like Guotao just now. Only Qin Feng treated her the same from beginning to end. Qin Feng accepted Ma Xinxin when she was at her ugliest and fattest. Then, the gorgeous Ma Xinxin, who had turned into a fair, rich and beautiful Ma Xinxin, was willing to give herself to Qin Feng unconditionally. The two of them naturally immersed themselves in it. When it reached the climax, Qin Feng's phone suddenly rang. Qin Feng suddenly stopped. He looked awkwardly at Ma Xinxin, who was in his arms with half her clothes removed. For a moment, he didn't know what to do. Answer the phone first. It might be an important call. Ma Xinxin said shyly. Qin Feng answered the phone and yelled angrily. Who is it? I'm going to die if I call you at this time. Qin Feng was a bit angry. If he had known this would happen, he would have turned off his phone. Ma Xinxin was amused by Qin Feng's expression. The person on the other side of the phone was clearly stunned for a moment. Then a thick coquettish voice came through. Big brother Zheng Shuai, why are you yelling at me? Are you still in bed? Then you definitely haven't had breakfast, right? Come to Sherman's and my room. We just ordered breakfast, and we even ordered yours and Xian's. That voice was very familiar, but it also felt extremely unfamiliar to Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin. In their minds, Zhang Kuke's mouth was always full of sarcasm. What's wrong with her? It started acting up last night. Has it not recovered yet? Are you sick? I'm not eating anymore. You guys eat by yourselves. Qin Feng was in the middle of his business when Zhang Kuke's phone call ruined the atmosphere. How could he not be angry? Aya, big brother Zheng Shuai, how did you know Kiki was sick? Kiki's chest has been hurting lately. Do you want to come and give her a massage? Once Zhang Kuke changed, she changed completely. Qin Feng's mouth twitched uncontrollably. Ahem. I'll go in a bit. I'll hang up first. Qin Feng immediately hung up the phone, because he could feel a pair of murderous eyes staring at him. Qin Feng felt wronged, because he had nothing to do with Zhang Kuke. Well done, Qin Feng. You're really capable. You managed to get that silly girl Kuke under my nose. Should I praise you or praise you? As soon as the call ended, Ma Xinxin's eccentric voice rang in Qin Feng's ears. Qin Feng knew this would happen. He looked at Ma Xinxin's furious expression and knew he couldn't get his hands on her. He was so angry that he wanted to break Ma Xinxin's legs. Xinxin, you still believe that crazy Kiki's words? It's not like you don't know her. That woman's brain can be good and bad at the same time. Maybe she deliberately sowed discord early in the morning, because she wanted you to quarrel with me. To put it bluntly, that woman thinks I'm too handsome, and can't bear to see me doing well. Qin Feng spouted nonsense with a straight face. Ma Xinxin thought for a while and agreed with him. Both of them stopped bickering. But when Qin Feng wanted to continue what he was doing, Ma Xinxin kicked him off the sofa. Since Zhang Kuke had bought breakfast, Ma Xinxin and Ma Xinxin put on their clothes and went to the pretty girl group's room. It's Mr. Zheng Shuai and Miss Xian. When the door opened, Sister Ling was standing at the door. She purposely shouted into the room to let Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuke mentally prepare themselves. If the two girls were naked, then Zheng Shuai would have picked up a big bargain. Kiki, sit down. Zheng Shuai is here. Rao Sherman's voice echoed in the room. After a while, Rao Sherman changed her attitude and said softly, Sister Ling, please invite Zheng Shuai and Xian in. Sister Ling led Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin into the room. The pretty girl group's presidential suite was bigger and more luxurious than Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin's room. The two women were in the living room. Rao Sherman was dressed in conservative black pajamas that covered her body. She sat on the sofa, sipping milk and watching TV. Zhang Kuke was lying on the sofa, playing a video game with one hand and eating a greasy bun with the other. She wore a spaghetti strap dress and didn't seem to mind Qin Feng's presence at all. Sorry to disturb you, Miss Sherman. Qin Feng greeted Rao Sherman politely. As for Zhang Kuke, Qin Feng didn't think it was necessary for him to greet her. Ma Xinxin sat beside Rao Sherman. Rao Sherman smiled and said, Take a seat. We're good friends, so there's no need to be so polite. Ma Xinxin really didn't stand on ceremony with Rao Sherman because she was starving. She picked up the delicacies on the table and started eating. Big Sis Ling was very perceptive. She already went to a room in the inner room and didn't want to disturb their gathering. Qin Feng stood in the middle of the living room and glanced at Zhang Kuke's thighs from time to time. It was one thing for this girl to be scantily clad, but she was lying on the sofa in a seductive posture. Her long legs were kicking in the air, and her spaghetti strap skirt was already lifted to her waist. Qin Feng couldn't help but stare. Ah, Kuke, are you trying to piss me off? Zheng Shuai is here. Sit down quick. Rao Sherman reached out her hand to pat Zhang Kuke's perky buttocks. Her crisp and sexy voice tickled Qin Feng's heart. Zhang Kuke didn't mind. She twisted her buttocks and complained. Why did you hit me, Sherman? Zhang Shuai can look if he wants. It's not like he hasn't seen other people's buttocks before. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin widened their eyes and stared at Qin Feng. Their faces were filled with strange expressions as if they were saying, "So you're this kind of person?" Qin Feng was depressed. He had a feeling that Zhang Kuku had discovered his identity. Her words indicated that she was right. Qin Feng didn't dare to argue with Zhang Kuku anymore. He didn't know what kind of shocking things this girl would say when she was agitated. Qin Feng sat on the other side of Rao Sherman. A faint fragrance wafted from Rao Sherman's body. Kuku is just joking. Let's ignore her. Qin Feng took a sip of milk to calm himself down. Ah, big brother Zheng Shuai, don't drink Kuku's milk, it's Kuku's milk. Pfft. Qin Feng spat out the milk that he just drank. Ma Xinxin quickly came over to wipe the table. Rao Sherman held her forehead and had the urge to hack Zhang Kuku to death. Kuku, shut up. Why don't you go play with big sister Ling in the house? The three of them were speechless. How could this woman be so invincible? Wait a minute. How could she be so big-breasted and brainless? Zhang Kuku threw away the paw in her hand and glared at the three of them angrily. Enough. It's all your fault for talking to Kuku. Even my boss can't beat you. I've drunk that glass of milk before. Did I say anything wrong? Zhang Kuku's words were reasonable. They had nothing to say even if they wanted to refute her. However, the way she spoke was too shocking and difficult for them to accept. There's still a whole jug of milk. Did Zheng Shuai drink your cup already? Just pour another cup. As the saying goes, those who came were guests, so Rao Sherman naturally spoke up for Qin Feng's side. Arg. Sherman, you're really a guy who forgets his friends when it comes to love. Have you found out about Zheng Shuai's identity? How dare you help him to teach Kuku a lesson? Kuku, don't you want to live anymore? Zhang Kuku bounced on the sofa. Qin Feng was worried that her spaghetti-strap dress would fall off her shoulders. What identity? Isn't Zheng Shuai? You're acting up again. Rao Sherman did not notice anything unusual. Zhang Kuku stole a glance at Qin Feng. She opened her mouth but said nothing in the end. After the table was cleared, everyone sat on the sofa and ate their breakfast. Zhang Kuku insisted on sitting next to Qin Feng. She placed her feet on Qin Feng's thighs and shouted, "Big brother Zheng Shuai, I don't care. You've drunk my milk just now. Pour me another glass and feed Kuku breakfast." Qin Feng felt weird when he heard Zhang Kuku's words. He couldn't help but steal a few glances at Zhang Kuku's chest. Ma Xinxin and Rao Sherman noticed Qin Feng's wretched behavior, but they didn't care. Zhang Kuku was determined to take advantage of Qin Feng, so how could they stop her? Qin Feng's original intention was to have a chat with Rao Sherman, but in the end, he became Zhang Kuku's male nanny. He fed Zhang Kuku buns and fed her milk. Ah, big brother Zheng Shuai, do you have eyes on your chest? My mouth is on my chest. Why did you pour the milk into my chest? Zhang Kuku started to scream again. Qin Feng hastily put down the glass. He was so embarrassed that his face turned red. He had been staring at Zhang Kuku's chest and accidentally poured the milk into it. Ma Xinxin and Rao Sherman shook their heads. The two women ignored Qin Feng and Zhang Kuku. They found that the two of them were a perfect match. One was lecherous and wretched, and the other was stupid. They complemented each other perfectly. Zhang Kuku angrily went to the bathroom to take a shower. Qin Feng thought it was his fault, so he should help Zhang Kuku clean up. But in the end he restrained himself. The living room returned to normal after Zhang Kuku was gone. Ma Xinxin scrolled through Weibo and discovered that the duet video of Qin Feng and Rao Sherman posted last night had shot to the top of Weibo's trending topic list. The number of views and reposts had skyrocketed, and the number of comments below the video couldn't even keep up. There were dozens of new comments every second. Rao Sherman was also scrolling through Weibo on her cell phone. After she saw Zheng Shuai's post, she reposted the duet video on her Weibo. The duet video became even more popular. In just a short while, it had become the top trending topic on Baidu. Ma Xinxin and Rao Sherman were overjoyed. Qin Feng, on the other hand, continued to eat his breakfast calmly. He became a celebrity to complete the system's mission. He didn't care about the attention and fans. His life principle was to keep a low profile. Qin Feng had been living a low-profile life. Chapter 904. Guo was not angry at all after being beaten up by Qin Feng. Instead, he ran to Manager Gu's office excitedly. Fuck. You were caught having an affair early in the morning? Why are you so careless? Manager Gu jumped in fright when he saw Guotao's swollen face. Guotao was speechless. He quickly explained, Manager Gu, I wasn't having an affair. I was beaten up by Zheng Shuai. Guotao still had an excited look on his face after being beaten, causing the Tung Gu to be so scared that his eyeballs almost popped out. Last night, Lu Hai suddenly went crazy, and this early in the morning. Why did Guotao also go crazy? Are you out of your mind? Why are you so happy that Zheng Shuai beat you up? Manager Gu, you can't say that. My beating was planned. I set a trap for Zheng Shuai. Manager Gu's expression changed. He suddenly became spirited. What trap? Speak clearly. Guotao mysteriously took out a USB drive and passed it to Manager Gu. Manager Gu, take a look at this video first. Then you'll understand everything. Manager Gu's curiosity was piqued. He plugged the USB drive into the computer and opened the video. The video was the one where Qin Feng protected Ma Xinxin and beat Guotao up. The video was very clear, and the conversation between the two could be heard. Manager Gu watched it from the beginning to the end, and a sinister smile appeared on his face. He understood everything now. Haha. Guotao, good job, brat. Don't worry. I won't let you suffer this beating for nothing. Send this video to all the major media outlets and have them denounce Zheng Shuai's violent behavior. Let the entire entertainment circle ban Zheng Shuai. After this is done, I'll give you a bonus. As a veteran in the entertainment circle, Manager Gu immediately saw through Guotao's plan. Guotao had purposefully angered Qin Feng so that Qin Feng would hit him. After all, celebrities were different from ordinary people. A celebrity's every word and action was closely watched by the public, and if a celebrity did anything immoral, they would be condemned by the entire society. This time, Zheng Shuai beat Guotao up in front of so many people. He even cursed. This behavior was extremely vile. Manager Gu and Guotao had already seen Zheng Shuai's tragic ending. Alright, I'll go do it now. Zhang Kuku came out of the bathroom after her shower. She was wearing a spaghetti-strap nightgown with lingerie underneath. Zhang Kuku walked out of the bathroom with a simple white towel wrapped around her body. She even bent over and raised her, but as she tidied her hair in front of the bathroom mirror. Kiki, go back to your room and dry your hair. Put on some proper clothes before you come out. Rao Sherman was on the verge of going berserk when she saw Qin Feng pasting his eyes on Zhang Kuku. Why did he have to go back to the house? Who's going to chat with you if I leave? I'll just do my hair here. You guys can do whatever you want. Zhang Kuku didn't mind being exposed. It was as if Qin Feng was a woman in her eyes. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin were completely speechless. Qin Feng still looked like a pig head, but the two girls didn't blame him at all. Or perhaps Qin Feng was actually a victim? Haha, it feels so good to take a bath. Brother Zheng Shuai, don't pour milk on me again, or I'll ask you to help me bathe. After Zhang Kuku finished drying her hair, she ran to Qin Feng's side and sat down. Qin Feng was so excited that he almost poured milk on Zhang Kuku again. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin didn't want to talk to Zhang Kuku anymore. The two girls sat quietly at the side and watched the television. Coincidentally, the morning news came on. It was about an alien incident. Sherman, look. I told you someone discovered an alien last night, but you didn't believe me. Now the news is on the television. What should we do? The end of the world is coming. Zhang Kuku was so flustered that no one paid attention to her. Qin Feng was startled. He realized that the news wasn't talking about an alien, but the flaming golden eagle that Qin Feng rode. Last night, Qin Feng rode the flaming golden eagle to Zhongchuan City to rescue Li Ya. Along the way, many people spotted the flaming golden eagle, and some even took videos and photos. The television broadcasted the videos and photos taken by netizens. Fortunately, the flaming golden eagle was very fast. Moreover, it was night time, so the videos were very blurry. One could only see a flaming object moving at high speed in the sky. According to our radio station's reporter's understanding of the situation, this video was shared by a netizen. At 7:33 last night, this netizen took this video at Hong Kong Bay. Everyone can see an unknown object flying quickly in the video. It looks like a ball of flame. This video has been sent to China's National Defense Research Laboratory for further research. According to the research report, this unidentified flying object is most likely a new type of alien spaceship. Its speed is faster than the top fighter jets. The U.S. Department of Aviation sent a secret message this morning, requesting to come to China to study this unidentified flying object. We will follow up on the situation of the flaming spaceship in outer space. Please pay more attention. Scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can add our WeChat account. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin were dumbfounded. Even Zhang Kuku, who couldn't stop eating stride mall, quietly listened to the entire news report. Qin Feng was speechless. He was about to die of depression. He told the flaming golden eagle to keep a low profile, but the giant bird didn't listen to him. The flaming spaceship in outer space? Qin Feng didn't know whether to laugh or cry at the Chinese people's wild imaginations. Xian, big brother Zheng Shuai, what size do you usually wear? Zhang Kuku's anxious voice broke the silence in the living room. The three of them looked at Zhang Kuku curiously. Qin Feng asked, "Why do you ask?" Zhang Kuku was extremely anxious. She kicked her legs and yelled, "Quick, tell me. There are only 558 pieces of doomsday spacesuits left. I'm killing them all. Hurry up." Qin Feng and the others rolled their eyes and almost fainted from joy. Zhang Kuku did not wait for Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin to tell her their sizes. She randomly picked 2 sizes and bought 4 sets. After confirming the order, Zhang Kuku threw her cell phone away. She patted her breasts and heaved a long sigh. Phew! We finally got it. The 4 of us don't have to die anymore. No one paid attention to Zhang Kuku anymore. They left her to her own devices. However, there was no lack of idiots in China. There were many people like Zhang Kuku who were delusional. Ever since the CCTV broadcast the news about the flaming spaceship in outer space, all the major online shopping platforms started selling like hotcakes. It was simply unstoppable. Qin Feng spent the whole morning in the pretty girl group's house. Since Cher was not here and Chairman Gu did not plan to start filming, they chatted and watched TV. Time flew by, and soon it was afternoon. After staying at home for the whole day, they were ready to go shopping and have dinner. Suddenly, an entertainment news was broadcasted on the TV. Extra large, extra large. We've just received exclusive news that Zheng Shuai, a rising star in the Chinese music industry, insulted and beat up a migrant worker in the Hong Kong International Hotel this morning. According to insiders, the migrant worker is now in a deep coma and is being treated in the hospital. He's in critical condition and could die at any time. Let's cut to the chase and show the real news. The words used in the entertainment news were trendy. As soon as the host finished his sentence, the screen switched to a video. In the video, Qin Feng hugged the chubby Ma Xinxin with one hand and slapped Guotao's face with the other. This video was edited from the moment Qin Feng started to attack, until Guotao was beaten to the point where he couldn't get up. His face was swollen and blood seeped from the corners of his mouth. While Qin Feng was beating Guotao up, he was also cursing Guotao with profanity. Both Zhang Kuku and Rao Sherman were dumbfounded. The video is the whole process of Zheng Shuai beating up the migrant worker. I have to admit that I'm one of Zheng Shuai's hardcore fans. But after watching this video, I want to roar in front of the whole nation. Zheng Shuai, you scum, get out of the entertainment industry. The report ended. The room was so quiet that one could hear the sound of a needle dropping. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku stared at Qin Feng with their eyes wide open. They did not expect Qin Feng to beat up Guotao so early in the morning. Under these circumstances, how could Qin Feng be so carefree and leisurely as if nothing had happened? Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku admired Qin Feng's mental fortitude. Shit. Qin Feng, what should we do now? Ma Xinxin was the first to regain her senses. She shouted Qin Feng's name out of excitement. Rao Sherman was still in a daze and did not realize what had happened. Zhang Kuku suddenly jumped up and grabbed Ma Xinxin's arm. Xinxin, what did you call Zheng Shuai just now? Ma Xinxin was startled. She realized that she had blurted out something in a moment of desperation. However, she quickly regained her composure and looked at Zhang Kuku with a puzzled expression. Ah, what did I call him? Isn't he called Zheng Shuai? Why are you still in the mood to ask such boring questions? Now that Guotao has maliciously slandered Zheng Shuai, let's think of a solution. Qin Feng's heart was like a roller coaster, going up and down. Zhang Kuku's big eyes were rolling around. No one knew what she was thinking about. Zheng Shuai, what's going on? Who's the fat woman in the video? Rao Sherman came back to her senses and looked at Qin Feng worriedly. Ma Xinxin blushed and secretly gave Qin Feng a meaningful look. Because of the beauty group's high looks, Ma Xinxin had always felt inferior, especially when she became fat. She felt that she would lose face for Qin Feng. That cute girl is a hardcore fan of mine. She came to the hotel to see me this morning, but Guotao stopped her and insulted her figure and looks. I happened to be passing by, and in a fit of anger, I beat up that bastard Guotao. Qin Feng spoke half the truth. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku were furious. They knew what kind of people Guotao and Chairman Gu were, so they stood on Qin Feng's side. Chapter 905. The assault incident was originally Phoenix TV's exclusive news, but it became the hot topic of all the entertainment channels half an hour later. Divine Dragon TV, Black Turtle TV, Toad TVC, Five-Legged Paparazzi Express Information Channel. Almost all the entertainment channels in the country were following up on this incident. Ma Xinxin kept scrolling through Qin Feng's Weibo. Within this short half an hour, all the popular topics on all the major websites, forums, and Weibo were Zheng Shuai's assault incident. Fierce insults and negative comments flooded the internet. You could see comments from netizens asking Zheng Shuai to get out of the entertainment industry if you opened a random website related to the entertainment industry. Ma Xinxin was so anxious that she cried. She knew she was the one who caused all this. If she could turn back time, Ma Xinxin would definitely stop Qin Feng. She would rather admit to Guotao, "That's right, I'm a fat pig. I'm a woman that nobody loves and everyone curses at me. I'll hide from now on, okay?" What did Ma Xinxin do wrong? She did nothing wrong, but she felt guilty. She had ruined all the achievements Qin Feng had worked so hard for. Ma Xinxin wanted to leave Qin Feng because she felt that she was a burden. Don't cry, Xinxin. Let those idiots curse at me. I won't apologize no matter how much they curse at me. If I have to do it again, I won't do it. I'll kick that bastard Guotao to death. Qin Feng was infuriated, but he suppressed his anger when he saw Ma Xinxin crying her heart out. He was afraid that Ma Xinxin would blame herself even more if he vented his anger. The TV was still covering the assault incident. Many entertainment channel reporters went to the streets to investigate the incident. The people who were interviewed reacted angrily, and most of them were condemning Qin Feng. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku were even more anxious than Qin Feng. They knew that Qin Feng was tricked by Guotao, so they decided to stand up and help Qin Feng. Sherman, I want to make a statement on our public Weibo. I'm serious this time. I'll do it even if you say I'm crazy. Zhang Kuku was typing rapidly on her phone. Rao Sherman nodded and said, "Hurry up and explain the situation in detail. If one post isn't enough, send 10. Qin Feng felt warm when he saw everyone was busy and anxious for him. The doorbell rang, and Sister Ling ran out to open the door. "Manager Gu, Director Guotao? Are you looking for Sherman and Kiki?" The door opened, and President Gu and Guotao walked in with a smile. The bruises on Guotao's face had not subsided yet, and he looked a little embarrassed. Zhang Kuku, who didn't mind being exposed all this while, suddenly ran into the inner room and put on a large windbreaker that covered her calves. "Hee, we're not looking for Sherman and Kiki. We're here to discuss something with Marshal Zheng." Chairman Gu had already walked into the room and sat down on the sofa opposite Qin Feng. He crossed his legs and looked at Qin Feng playfully. Guotao stood behind Chairman Gu. Although his face was full of injuries, Guo was smiling happily. He had waited for this moment for a long time. The two of them hadn't said anything yet, but the women and Qin Feng knew what they were here for. The TV was still broadcasting the Zheng Shuai assault incident. All that entered his ears were the voices of the people shouting for him to get out of the entertainment industry. Guo, you despicable person. I'll kill you. Ma Xinxin looked at Guo as if he had killed her father. She pounced on him and wanted to beat him up. Last night, Guo had been sent flying by Ma Xinxin's kick. He was so scared that he immediately hid behind Chairman Gu. Qin Feng pulled Ma Xinxin into his embrace and patted her back. He looked at Chairman Gu and said, "If you have something to say, just say it. What are you here for?" Chairman Gu rubbed his chin and laughed triumphantly. Hee, Zheng Shuai, you can't keep your cool. Didn't you just transform from a country bumpkin to a superstar overnight? What's there to be proud of? Huh? You dared to hit someone? You hit a peasant worker? Do you not see peasant workers as human beings? How can you be so heartless? Sigh. I must have been blind to work with someone like you. Now that your reputation is completely ruined, you've automatically breached the contract. Our contract is also automatically terminated. I won't pay you a single cent. You better fucking disappear from my sight tonight, or I'll make sure you never leave Hong Kong. Previously, he did not dare to do anything to Qin Feng because of the 10 billion yuan compensation. Now that Chairman Gu was no longer afraid, he revealed his fox's tail. Hey, don't you have any shame? Peasant worker? Guo was the one who looked for trouble. He deserved to be hit. Zhang Kuke glared at Chairman Gu angrily and spoke up for Qin Feng. Guo laughed and said, Haha, Beauty Kuke, don't you know? I'm a peasant worker. After work, I have to carry bricks at the construction site. Haha. Yes, you have to carry bricks. Director Guo has to carry bricks. Chairman Gu burst into laughter. Both of them were fearless. Ma Xinxin and the other two women were so angry that their hair stood on end. Qin Feng was also angry, but he was much calmer than the three women. Especially when faced with an emergency, Qin Feng would quickly calm himself down and find a way to change the situation. Soon Qin Feng's eyes lit up. He had an idea. Director Guo has to carry bricks at the construction site at night? Are you mocking peasant workers? Qin Feng suddenly said. Chairman Gu and Guo stopped laughing. At the mention of peasant workers, Guo's face flashed with disdain. Humph. It's my business whether I carry bricks or not. Why the hell do you care? Don't change the topic. Chairman Gu wants to talk to you about terminating the contract. Hurry up and apologize to me and get lost. Due to the huge impact of this incident and the condemnation from the public, Chairman Gu and Guo were confident that Qin Feng would not be able to climb out of this mess. Fine. Since things have gotten to this point, I have nothing else to say. I've long heard that the entertainment industry is deep, and that it's like there's a palace fight going on every day. Now I've experienced it firsthand. Director Guo set up such a trap, just to push me aside. You really are a genius. When Guo saw Qin Feng's dispirited expression, he thought that Qin Feng had admitted defeat, and was extremely pleased. Humph. Brat, you've realized too late. You want to fight with me? You're still too inexperienced. I can kill a row of newbies like you in a matter of minutes. Even if I can't deal with you today, I can easily kill you in the future. You want to film a movie like Hedonist Sovereign with your appearance? Hurry up and scram back to the fields. Guo's words became more and more vicious. Ma Xinxin and the other two women couldn't bear it anymore. Qin Feng paid no heed to Guo's words. He pressed the end button on his phone and sent the recording to Chairman Du. As for the rest, Qin Feng believed that Chairman Du would handle it well. Guo was unaware of the situation and continued to mock Qin Feng like an idiot. Qin Feng was already sitting on the sofa, leisurely eating fruits and watching the news. Big brother Zheng Shuai, I'll help you get rid of those two annoying flies. If they really dare to terminate the contract with you, then I won't act in Hedonist Sovereign anymore. Zhang Kuku was an impatient person and said whatever came to her mind. At this moment Qin Feng's phone rang. It was Chairman Du at this moment. Chairman Du was in the office of Starlight Media Company in Zhongchuan City. He paced back and forth in the room like an ant on a hot pan, Actually, Chairman Du had already seen the news. When he found out about Zheng Shuai's assault, he was scared half to death. He hurriedly used all his channels and connections to try to block this negative news. However, the impact of this incident was too great. Moreover, Hong Kong's House of Millions media company deliberately promoted it. Chairman Du could not stop the situation, no matter how hard he tried. Just when Chairman Du was extremely anxious, Qin Feng sent him a recording. After listening to the recording, Chairman Du immediately called him. Mr. Zheng, is the recording you just sent Guotao? Chairman Du didn't have time for pleasantries. He went straight to the point. That's right. You should have seen the video. You know what to do, right? Qin Feng knew that Chairman Du knew Guotao. Now that he had the recording, Chairman Du should be able to retaliate. I understand. Guotao, that scum, dared to set Mr. Zheng up. Please wait for a moment, I'll expose that bastard's plot now. Chairman Du hung up and started to work. Guotao smiled playfully at Qin Feng and said, Ugly country bumpkin, it's useless for you to call now. If you want to call people to deal with Chairman Gu and me, I advise you to stop daydreaming. This is Hong Kong, Chairman Gu's territory. Guotao thought that Qin Feng was calling for reinforcements, but he was not afraid at all. When Chairman Gu thought about how Lu Hai suddenly recognized Zheng Shuai as his big brother last night, he felt a little guilty. He cleared his throat and said, Zheng Shuai, we've known each other for a while. I don't want to make our relationship too stiff. You ruined your reputation this time. According to the rules of the entertainment industry, I can't use you as the main character anymore. You should leave now. We'll part on good terms. Chairman Gu originally planned to flirt with the beauty duo, but the sudden appearance of Zheng Shuai completely ruined Chairman Gu and Guotao's plan. Now the two of them had put down everything they were doing. The only thing they needed to do was to chase Qin Feng out of Hong Kong. Zhang Kuke suddenly stood up and was about to bicker with Guotao and Chairman Gu again. Qin Feng pulled her to sit beside him and said unhurriedly, Oh right. Which channel is the main channel of Starlight Media? Qin Feng was still in the mood to watch Starlight Media at this time. Everyone was stunned. No one could understand Qin Feng's thoughts. Zhang Kuke was stunned. She picked up the remote control and switched to the channel of Starlight Media. Big brother Zheng Shuai. Do you want to watch young Master Du's drama, The Most Handsome High School Student? It will start in half an hour. I've been watching that drama every night. I like the main character very much. He looks like the warm guy next door. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.